Let me see what we're working with. But yeah, I can see it.
Gotcha!
Okay, so I want to see without. I want to see this without the bouncy real quick. You could.
Wait, why is the light?
Okay, this should be fine. Yeah, you have a 100 Hoku. That's why I have like level 90 or 80. That's definitely not. Yeah, it's okay. So, I'm gonna walk you through it and see if that will help you. Okay, so yeah, so pop all your skills.
I need to find more songs
Pop
for
the
Cad.
Hokusai S3. Pop a Lady Avalon's S1. And then swap Castoria for Castoria. Then use S3 on Hoku. Then go ham. Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah, good one. Now we're gonna pop Castoria's first and second skill. And, yeah. Because you're trying to look for 60% on this NP. But like, I forgot how much Hoku's charged actually, maybe 30.
20.
Yeah, so you got 50 right there. Yeah, 62. Then you just go ahead. Yep, there you go. That's the strat. Yeah, you don't even need the attack buff. Yeah. And just Hoku win. And GG's, you won.
Yes. You spelled it wrong. You jinxed mine, Burning. Darn it.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm still ready for the raid, Trump. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure.
Surprise, I'm already in this stream.
Oh, I was muted. That's it. Yeah. You're on, I see your apps.
Yeah, we went places. We went crazy. And then yeah,
it is his prediction. We have words.
listen, heirs can be a possibility, but I just want Vitra.
And I think Reacher's the biggest cope in that freaking list.
Goddamn right it is. But it's my list.
Great.
Oh, so it's fine if it's
I was just putting Vitra as like a Doman character in the summer prediction. Also, fucking halfway through, Yogo nutted in my eye hole, so struggling to get the screen.
what?
Oh, Yogo, you know the yogurt you just spawn? Ogre, yeah, yogurt, Gogurt. All over my eye hole, yeah. Listen, I was enjoying Gogurt, and Gogurt attacked me. And we memed about how the Gogurt's gonna be the summer 6 beast.
So he's the Gogurt Glizzy. Or the Gogurt Guzzler. The Guzzler, yeah. There's a song that I'm vaguely remember from my past, and I'm trying to find it to torment Cat with it. I'm not gonna find it. Don't worry.
I hope you don't. All right, I'm gonna hop up. I will see you guys later.
Who was that?
I don't know.
Some
I
jabroni.
swear, like it sounds to me like he's just a hobo that drifts around. Hello, guys. Let me get the tweet out and get you guys the art sauce for today. Like I said, I am running a little bit behind. I was trying to work on something for, obviously debut, and like I had a bit of a like panic attack because like certain things weren't working, and it's all because like OBS refused to like refresh a source. It was like nothing I had done. And after like an hour of this, I was just like, you motherfucker. I was just like, man, I hate technology. Like, it should not be that way, right? You guys didn't really like my post today. You guys not like Gangnam Style? Wait, what was yesterday's artwork? Oh yeah, it was the Musashi. I've got to tweak the volume on that. I'm terribly sorry, chat. I know it's loud as all get out. Okay, the tweet is live. Give me that favor, chat. Go give it some love. Let me grab you guys today's sauce. Because I don't know what I did with it. Not that one. Wait. Oh shit. No, I just used the totally wrong one. Forgive me. Forgive me, I have to undo that tweet. Oh man, the days are blending together. Hold on, chat. It is rare that I have to do something like this. Actually, maybe I can edit it. Hold on. Edit post, yes! Oh, thank God. This is one of the few features that is really worth having the additional stuff for Twitter for. Okay, I updated the Twitter post. Jesus. So now I didn't have to totally delete it. Yeah, I used the Musashi artwork again, which was yesterday. Well, 2 streams ago's art. Because everything is blending together in my brain. Finally caught your stream. Glad I can be here. Nice. Welcome. Okay. What did I do with that? Okay, there we go. All right, we're good to go. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. There is today's artwork. Go give the artist some love. Oh my God, I do not want a Bing pop-up. I swear, I'm getting to the point that I'm getting close to being like, man, I just don't need a Windows computer anymore. It's just getting annoying. Okay. Glorious Skadi art indeed. Hope your rolls go well. Thank you, Shadow. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Idle Screen reminds me of Guam from Azure Lane. Yeah, that's a piece done by by Dandy. And Dandy has actually done Azure Lane art before, so I'm not surprised if you can feel a little bit of a relation to that. Sorry, I said Dandy. Teddy is his actual name. Teddy used to also he at least has drawn fan art of FGO, so that's how I know him. And he's done a couple of pieces for me now, but yeah, if I could change one thing about his art piece, it's that usually he does Aurelia in a like almost younger looking form. And I don't hate it. It's just one of those deals where like it definitely in certain pieces doesn't look quite the same as like other renditions of her. Okay, let me first of all start out by collecting everything and getting on in here. I still haven't touched the 90 plus node, but that's for obvious reasons because I'm kind of trying to get my Valkyries up and online, so we're just going to keep yeeting ourselves in. Good luck with rolls. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm so impatient I can't really roll much until tomorrow, but from what I had said, I was able to get NP5 Woo and enough to unlock all of her pins. What was your goal Woo, or was your goal, I should have checked the cards there, or was your goal Skadi? Good luck on rolls, AEX Luxact. Yeah, it did seem like a lot of people got lucky. I'm sure not everybody did, but again, congrats to those that got her. Well, screw it. Take both the quick cards rather than a mighty chain. It's just even more charge and stars. Let nobody ever say that Okita has bad card performance. Yeah, everyone, like I said. I'm sure not everyone, but Do you have an Excel sheet guide for comps? I do not for this Anubis. Most of the reason why is because it's just a 90 plus plus, so it's not really worth it. You're gonna get a bunch of these going forward. Now, that being said, I definitely acknowledge that it is a difficult node for a lot of people. I know I'm gonna sit here and make it look relatively easy, but I understand that for a lot of people it's not. I recommend probably the two chief ones that I've seen a lot of people use are Hajime Saito and Hoku Saber, who is a welfare and damage bonus for the event. So if you manage to have the right supports for that, it can work. I would also say don't care too much about three turning this stuff. If you take time to do it, it's not the end of the world. The big important thing is actually getting it done and being efficient, but otherwise, not too bad. Hoku Saber, Double Castoria, and Lady Avalon, there's your comp. That only works with an MLB damage Shi, as far as I understand it. Now, if you have an MLB damage Shi, that's one thing, which is hilarious because I just got enough for an MLB damage Shi. NP1 Saito can do it if you can face card the last 25 to 30k. Yeah, and I don't think it's a bad thing, right? Like, if you guys get bricked up on the last 25 to 30k and you got to go 4 turns, it's not the end of the world, right? And Kidu's not going to immediately turn around and one turn your ass. But it certainly, you know, is something that if you can avoid, you don't want to have to. I'm just checking my supports here real quick, chat, because I just removed my damage Shi. Okay. Hoku Saber, not MLB damage Shi, Double Castoria, and Waver. Yeah, I was going to say, there's plenty of ones that work without it, but it's usually the factor is charge is the big issue because we're dealing with single targets. So that's kind of the problem. I think most people can get MLB damage Shi once they hit that 750k point reward. No. No, you would only have MLB at 1.25 mil unless you got a drop, which... Did I? Did I already get a drop? I don't remember, but definitely that's something to be concerned with. You get it on the stream? Did I? So maybe it's not even the 1.25 mil then maybe it's even deeper. Because I think I just got the one from 1.25 mil, but what was I doing? I don't know. But this will probably annihilate now. I'm actually going to switch for just double Skadi here so that I don't have to basically do that stuff. Already emailed support. Okay, so hold on. Cat, I have a question for you. I got a spook of NP6 Arjuna today during my Skadi rolls, but did not get a USO for him in my mailbox. Already emailed support about it. Have you heard of this before? No, I have not. The only thing I would question is your mailbox full? And I would assume the answer to that's no, but just be careful, right? Because it definitely should appear in your mailbox. Unless somehow you're mistaken and you haven't gotten NP6. But that would be the only thing I could think of. Did you previously use a ticket to get Arjuna? I mean, I assume it's a spook Arjuna and not Arjuna altar. I'm gonna bet no, but that could certainly be a thing. What was I doing? All right, so I only have one Okita card, and I've got no pre-cards here. But I think we still try it. Actually, I can probably switch you and get a better card. Probably gonna be another arts card. No, I did get a buster. Sweet. Yeah, now I definitely kill here. That's just disgusting. It doesn't matter. Mighty Chain it is. Could have used the 5-star ticket from years ago. That copy does not always count towards the USO. Yeah, and that's the only thing I can think of. But I would assume that's that people wouldn't use that on Arjuna, but maybe, right? No, only 3 left sets of experience in the mailbox, and I have NP5 Arjuna right beside me in my inventory. Does the selector ticket not count towards copies of the USO? If then that would explain it. Yeah, that's probably it. So did you actually take him off the selector ticket? Which is funny because you'd be one of the only people that I know of that would have taken Arjuna off the selector ticket. So that's why I assumed it wasn't the case. Because I was just like, well, that's also low odds of being the case. But yeah, it could definitely be that. I did use it on him because he was the only one I didn't have at the time. Yep. Wow, I'm surprised that you've managed to get him to NP6 in that time, though. That's kind of nuts. So that's just like a series of somewhat unfortunate events amounting to confusion. But that's wild. I'm glad we could like figure that out for you, though. But that's freaking wild to me. But yeah, the ticket. The selector ticket where you could actually choose one is the only one that I know of that doesn't. Like, even if you get them off of a GSSR and stuff, that sort of stuff does count towards it. But that one in particular doesn't. I remember grabbing Arturia, but that was just because she evaded me for so long. Oh, don't worry. You'll get another shot at Arturia probably soon. Because we're probably going to get that Fate Stay Night selector ticket soon as well. Do I want to do one more run? Yeah, I think we do it because I'm gonna be doing a crap ton of rolling. I was gonna be like, hey, why don't we like save for so I could demonstrate Skadi to you guys afterwards? And then I had that thought of like, I'm gonna be doing so much inventory management. So I was like, maybe that's not the best idea. All right, so this will be interesting. I don't have a quick card, but I certainly can play with the odds here a little bit. We're going to go ahead and soak the stars. And then basically what I'm going to do is that. And I'm going to invert the Mighty Chain here and hope that the Buster Crit can get it done. And it will, easily. Dear God, MLB Damage C just fucking strong. But yeah, that's... It does look like I'm at the point where, other than a Okita Arts card, I basically just need a singular Okita card and I'm good. And I will actually be able to clear right through this stuff. I never rolled Arturia, and luckily she spooked me 5 times. So, pretty much same, right? I basically have managed to... Does the FSN selector allow you to get a USO if you take Saber? No. It's the same deal. But I basically have managed to be very Saber blessed over all the years. I have managed to get my copies with relative ease and never really had to try. There's numerous times, especially my veterans on stream will remember, where I basically just even went to go prove this point and YOLO'd into a banner that had Saber in it and got it. And it was just wild that happened. And before I choose the Kojiro, see, because why not? Indeed. It almost spooked me from NP0 to NP5 in an 8-month period. Jesus. It does happen, though. I've had similar effects with both SRs and SSRs. Nope. Not popping an apple. What's your Skadi and Peagles? We'll see. We shall see. Got spooked by the Forbidden One while fishing for a 3rd copy of Ibuki today. Didn't feel too great. Who's the Forbidden One? Or do you mean the actual, like, isn't there a craft essence named that? Yeah, we do have more hunting quests. I do need to do some of my storm pods again because the devs are kind of dicks and they just don't want us to have nice things. So at that point, I've got to keep doing this at least to some degree to keep it down so that it doesn't cap out. Good luck on rolls. Have you tried Summer Okitan for the 90++ node? Recarding makes it really easy. I have not, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm doing Okita, so it's probably fairly similar in that regard. Full AP storm pods, yeah, it'd be that way. You guys know, like I've said, I'm not a huge fan of how they've been handling storm pods. Like, at least during events, they've gotten better about that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, not entirely. I had pity for LA, so that puts me out of rolling anyone else. Oof. It happens though. I like this is why I always tell you guys to like prepare for pity and then like you'll have to like see how it goes, right? And if you get lucky, you don't hit pity and then you have some to spare for other banners. But if you don't get lucky, then at least you had enough to hit the pity on the unit, right? Because imagine if like there was no pity and you just didn't get anything out of that. That would make you very angry. And that is entirely the story of why over the years so many people have quit FGO. So having the pity system in place, even as much as we want to complain about it, dear God, it is huge. It is absolutely huge for the game. You trade the ocean for QP after the event? I assume you mean ice? Ice, yeah. Yes, I believe you can. I hit pity for Ark, Merlin, and Skadi, so good luck, Cat. Ooh. Ugh. Yeah, that sounds like my rolls earlier this year. I basically had a like 3 out of 4 stretch of pities, and it was nasty as well. How well can Summer Skadi loop? Oh, she's fairly good. Like, she's not going to be like god tier amazing, but as far as quick units go, she's still pretty solid. Why did I do the quick card there? Summer Scotty and 60 Sandcarts last night. Nice. Back to back is so demoralizing. Yep, definitely is. And the only thing I can think of is that like your bad luck streak got cut off by the pity, and you're still not out of your bad luck streak. as messed up as that sounds, right? Feels kind of strange we don't get really get meta support for a while now on NA. Okay, so I have seen people say that like the game needs another meta support right now. And I'm not going to disagree with that, but I think like the reason that that's the case is if anything, it's purely to help something like Quick. Buster doesn't need it. Arts doesn't need it. It's straight up to help Quick. Anything other than a Quick meta support, and I'm just probably against the idea. It's a weird looking cast story indeed. God, how do I want to think about this? How do I need to handle this? Man, this just sucks. Screw it, we're using it. Command seals? No, I'll just struggle bus. There's nothing wrong with struggle busing, chat. Why is Elephant Girl kind of meh for gameplay? Wait, what do you mean, Elephant Girl? Forgive me for not understanding the reference. Woo, just enough. Ah, you can't make me say that name. Why is she meh for gameplay? I mean, she gets a nice NP interlude down the line that really helps, but like, she's still pretty meh even after that interlude. And the biggest issue is that she kind of excels really at nothing in particular. The few things that she does excel at, there's other units that just excel far more than her. It's not that you can't use her. It's not that you can't make it effective. It's just that like, it's not really necessarily worth it unless she's like your favorite character. Fake dollar bills. Thank you for the follow. If anything, Shufu should be the free to play quick support. Yeah, and I've said that before. Like, I don't really know what the hell the devs are thinking on that one. Well, we gotta slowly whittle down Vitra. I could plug suit here, but I don't have the damage necessary to actually be able to take out Vitra yet. So spend a couple turns, whittle it down, hopefully get to the Skadi NP, and that might help. We're actually going to start abusing that. Worst case scenario, I should get it back when Castoria gets her charge. Come on, hit Skadi. Do it, you cowards! No, what are you doing? Why are you buffing? You assholes. And then they're giving her arts down on top of all of that. Okay. Make a busted or make a busted quick as a card type, or just make a busted support. So the only question is, I don't know what you're like saying between the first two options there, but I mean, there's numerous ways they could handle quick. I've talked about it before, and it just really boils down to a lot of different things. I think I'm gonna do that, by the way, and then I'm gonna do that, 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 and I don't really have another option, so we'll do that. There's numerous ways they could do it. They could definitely try to address some of the issues that the card type has overall, but I think in their eyes, they probably assume that they have addressed them all. So instead, the issue boils down to individual units and the actual roster that we have. Certain quick units have certainly been left behind, but that's no different than any other card type. So I think just looking at it from a holistic standpoint, you're kind of trying to think about it that what does quick not have that the other card types truly do have? And the majority of the problem there actually just deals with options. Quick doesn't have nearly the same options that Buster or Arts does, and that is why it struggles in terms of reaching the same like efficiency levels, as well as potentially having as robust of challenge support. So I think that is ultimately some of the biggest issue with it overall, more than like anything else. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna leave Skadi in for right this second. Did the rolls happen yet? No, not yet. Because Cat is dumb and took a Skadi while not paying attention to a node that he really shouldn't take a Skadi to. But yeah, it's I just think that the biggest issue overall with Quick is that it lacks the actual like staying power and options in a lot of cases. You can like jerry rig some stuff. It's not totally bereft, but it's certainly not nearly as. I guess the capture card did not want you to see that, chat. Because Vitra's MPing my ass. I did not kill her. I dealt about 1.2 mil with the NP. But see, this is why I say, like, chat, is this a 9 turn? Hell yeah, it is. Is it pretty? Hell no, it's not. Does it matter? Hell no, it doesn't. I'm still gonna fucking kill this shit. At the end of the day, that's really all that matters. I didn't waste my my AP. Is Summer Skadi worth rolling more than one? Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to get more than one copy, it's because of a damage standpoint. Less for the support. When we're talking supports, 90% of their effectiveness is just already baked into their kit, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. Anything rage will make me try to kill it more? Understandable. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do with that. I'm just gonna try to keep it at those 3. And basically what we have now is a gear one, but CAD doesn't have MLB of the CE for this. And I'm going to make everyone scream when they watch the comp that I do for this. Got SSRs from this summer event. The cost of for taking this was sacrificing NP2 Ibuki funds. Oof. But hey, at least you got all of them. Ibuki will come back, so if you have to, you can always grab an additional MP level later. Bro. Listen, it be what it be, chat, okay? It be what it be. I think I did this. Trying to remember how I got through this the first time. Stop this. This is not kosher. What do you mean? Of course it's not kosher. It's Musashi Miyamoto. Ooh, so sexy. The archer class is made of berserkers? Exactly. Chat gets it. They really do. Now, I don't think I did this right. I think I messed this up somehow. Because I'm going to get drained, and I need Musashi to refund more than 100%. And I don't think she does. So I might have to command seal this. The math did not work. Not enough udon, indeed. Epic Games, thank you for the follow. Elamandros, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Enjoy your new emotes. Chat, can we get some love from the people that actually have emotes? I know some of you do. Yeah, there you go. The drain fucked me. I managed to do this last time because somehow I managed to keep one of the Castoria NP gains. I don't remember how I did that. Somehow I did, but this time I didn't. So it be what it be, and I'm just gonna seal this shit, which is gonna make chat scream even more. But yeah, I'm trying to remember what did I do the first time that made this work. So I use Ibuki instead. This wouldn't have happened. I mean, listen, to be clear, I probably could have cleared this anyways had I not used a Black Grail. My Musashi is robust. Part of her is she is a NP3 level 100 2K gold Fode, so she's good. Chris, thank you for the 44. At least I'm getting nice embers from this. And hello, Ellie. Total damage was 2.5 pity's worth. Yuck. All right, so actually hold that thought. Hold that thought, chat. Yeah, I still need to do one more run of the hunting quest. This is why I don't like it. They have missions to run 3 hunting quests a day. You also need to run 3 whatchamacallits. 3 storm pods a day to keep your storm pods down. So right there, already you are at a requirement of 6 runs of 40 AP each, basically. So it's like, huh? I don't like that they're doing that. That's really like stupid to me. And I get that it's like, yeah, they probably want you to use apples, but what's the point of giving out an apple if you're going to force us to use it immediately? Okay. Now, chat. Now we can finally begin. Let us get started. Not approved? Why not? So we're going to start out with Skadoodle here, because Skadoodle at least is, how do I put this? More required right now. If I get totally screwed on anybody, it needs to be on Skadi rather than any other unit, because I need a copy of Skadi since I don't have her. So we're going to go ahead and begin. This is going to be... What do you mean? This is the Skadi rules. Huh? This isn't JP. What are you talking about? I feel like I'm getting one guide right now. Got a Ibuki from a paidless single? Nice. Okay, yeah. Anyways, let's continue. I hope yours goes better than mine. Same. Good luck, Cad. Your Skadi rolls be even better than mine. Listen, I thought chat got really lucky, and I assume, because I think Maestro was rolling last night when I went to bed for NP5, and Maestro got NP5, and based off what I heard about it, Maestro sounded like, at least from his, like, stuff, that he was having a hard time before I went to bed, but then that it wasn't that bad after I went to bed. So I have to assume that I was bad luck. So... I don't know that these rolls are going to go well for me. And to be fair, we've been stringing out the rolls all week here, so it does feel like it's prime territory for the Gacha to be like, oh, here it comes. Is that already a woo? Indeed it is. Who are woo? Common gold ruler? Please don't say that. Chat knows if I see gold ruler exactly what I'm gonna think. I don't even need to say it. Ibuki was Camelot to me. Oof. Yeah, a certain saintess is my my most USO'd character. I have 10 USOs of her, if I remember correctly. Why? Because she loves me. Because I'm a good Christian boy. That's why. You don't need more of a reason than that, do you? I doubt that, sir. Wait, why do you doubt that? His cat is secretly French? That is also definitely true. You're not wrong. Although, I wouldn't say that I keep it much of a secret since I've straight up told you. Oh. I find it funny. Because she straight up knows and is trying to flaunt it. Which part of you is French? The French part. Yeah, not that you have any reason to be afraid of ghosts. His mustache? Maybe. That might actually be true. Because I have a divided mustache, right? So perhaps that means that I am ancestrally French. I mean, the truth of the matter is I know I'm ancestrally French, so... But I'm ancestrally French and English, which means that I just hate myself. I am literally internally fighting a 100 years war. And that's all you need to know, chat. You're not French if you don't hate yourself? True. And therefore, I must be French. Always wondered why my last name was spelled so much different than how it sounds. I mean, I don't know, man. Do you smoke? No, I don't smoke. Not at all. I've never liked smoking. The only things that I will smoke is I have smoked like celebratory cigars and stuff, but that's it. You're not French then. Understandable. But gold orbs. Sorry, not gold orbs. Rainbow orbs. And it's a ruler. All right, sweet. There we go. Did you notice how I was not excited when I saw rainbow orbs, and then even more not excited when I saw it was a ruler? Oh god, wow, okay, woo. Another woo. The cat is both good twin and evil French twin, yes. Holy shit, we all getting her easy tonight? Indeed. Well, you say all, but not everyone, right? Song brings weird luck? What do you mean? It is the ultimate fate catalyst. Will you go for NP2? Yeah. So you admit you're not French and you get Skadi. Oh, hold on. Good job. See, chat. This is... Thank you, Cece. This is exactly why y'all should roll for Skadi. Don't look at Skadi and go like, do I want to be a meta slave? Don't look at Skadi and go like, do I need like my quick units online? You look at Skadi and you go, damn, she's hot. And that's why you roll. Awooga, exactly. What if I already have normal Skadi? Don't you want normal Skadi in a bikini? I ask you the important question. Cad, for you, who's the best quick looper? I said yesterday, it's probably Karen. Like on my account, it's certainly not, but in terms of like who I think the best is, it's probably Karen. I want normal Skadi in a bikini, but does normal Skadi want to show up in a bikini for me? No. That's why you're gonna have to roll Summer Skadi. But if I already have Summer Shisho, trick question, I already rolled for Summer Skadi, good. That's exactly how it should be. It's a Stolfo. So this is really funny because I remember talking about looping back in the day, and I had someone scream at me one time on one of my videos because they said, "There's just no way in hell that you can loop with a Stolfo. He only has a 1-hit NP." And I had a really good chuckle because I'm like, yes, he only has a 1-hit NP and 50% charge, but you know. It's like if nothing else at that time, you know, obviously Skadi was out. You could have taken any 50% charger, throw in 3 50% charge supports and an MLB K-scope, and congratulations, you can 3-turn with them. The refund wasn't even a factor at that point. Indeed. Stolfo can Buster Loop, pretty much. That's another easy way to think about it, right? The Super Scope meta. Yeah, like I said on the Black Grail video yesterday, that's a big reason why like Black Grail has just come a long way, is because more and more charge entering the game has just made it so that you don't need the Super Scope nearly as much. There are still times that it's really useful, but it's far fewer than it used to be, because it used to be every single node you would be taking K-scope to, and now it's very few nodes do you actually, assuming you're, you know, like at a moderately like in-game standpoint. Then we have to wait for next summer to have Skadi Final Ascension Spiritron dress. Yeah, like I said, I really wish that they would up the bar in terms of their outfits and their skins. And if they think it's not worth it because they're not making money off of it, then they need to just start making money off of it, right? Which is part of the reason that I suspect that, yet again, that it's probably a staffing issue and they just don't have the bodies. CAD favorite perma unit, Artoria. Come on, you walked into that one. What MP am I going for? You'll see. Nevrel, thank you for the follow. Do you have any thoughts about why year 8 had so few buffs? Yeah, I mean, like, just from my own analytical standpoint, obviously I feel like the game needs buffs. So why do I think the devs didn't do as much? Well, it's easy, chat. The devs don't want to buff things. And if you can answer why, then you completely understand. And the why they don't want to buff is usually going to be because Flagul, thank you for the sub on YouTube. But if you can answer that, you usually will understand the devs' mentality at that point. They don't want to keep buffing because the more they have to buff, the more they increase the power creep in the game. So if anything, ideally they would buff not at all, but they do have to buff some, and they know that. Artoria, would you name your kid Artoria? Well, that depends. Is it a girl or a boy? A girl? Sure, why not? FGO is the only gacha game that does buffs, really? Yeah, and honestly, I think it's good that it does. Because I'm going to tell you flat out, buffing is to the player's advantage. It keeps units good over time, and it means that you can continue to use the units that you have, rather than as the game progresses and gets harder, you need to keep rolling to stay in the game. So, That is a big reason that, again, like a unit buff is good for the player base, not necessarily for the devs. If the devs never buff, you have to keep rolling. And if you have to keep rolling, they're likely to make more money off of you. Which is why, again, if we get into a game where there are no buffs at all, there's problems. Another caster? There you go. Woo, man. I love the fact that we got this 4-star rate increase like 6 months early, because these banners are great for it. This is how it used to be, chat. I want you guys to think about that. This is how it used to be trying to roll 4 stars. You got them fairly easily most of the time because you could pick a day that it was just them on rate up. And it was that simple. And like, I don't understand why the devs haven't realized that that's what players want back. Won't play any Hoyoverse games. Yeah, I mean, I will say, I think that is a major problem with the Hoyoverse games. And it is naturally going to lend to attrition of their player base over time. Because if you start to think about it, right, like, I'm not going to say that the game necessarily requires you to, but they do have power creep in their games some. And over time, as the power creep becomes more and more of a thing, there's going to be that incentive to roll new units, but you're going to go, but what the hell? Why can't I just use the old units that I know and love? And eventually this begins to upset certain players. It's not necessarily going to upset the person playing the game every single day who rolls every single unit. Who it's going to upset are the people that don't want to have to roll every single unit, or the people that do have favorites and enjoy using them. So when their favorites cease to work well, that's where they start to get very angry, and they are very more likely to give up on the game at that point. Kang, thank you for the follow. So I don't know when something like, say, Genshin will hit that point. We'll see. Maybe it already has. Maybe it hasn't. But I do think that is a concern that, like it's a going concern as your game starts getting older. Was Zhongli back in the day due to the fans getting angry? Yeah, and it's because he was like underwhelming when he first came out. Genshin hit that for me already? Yeah. Imagine using Arturia's Saber day one without buffs. I did. Many people did. Like, to a degree, it won't stop you from using your favorites. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it does depend on the in-game content and whether or not there's actually a need. Is there any point to keeping more than 6 MLB copies of Event Cs other than for your support list? No. No, it's straight up like I only keep 5 because the vast majority of the time you're going to be, taking a support. So I don't even keep the 6 copy. Do you think San Zhang will ever get an alt? What's it going to take? I don't know, Kang, but I would love if she did. This is kind of what I mean when I say that I think FGO dabbles a little bit too much in new units and constantly spitting out new characters. And it needs to actually go back and hit that nostalgia trip and like give additional versions of older characters. And to be fair, there is some promise for that because the survey recently asked us about that question. And I did say, like, no, so I had the option of choosing, do I want new units? Do I want old units getting new versions? Or do I want both? And I chose only old units getting new versions. Why? Because I knew everybody was going to pick both. So I picked the one that I felt like they needed to do more. I definitely am A-okay with them doing both. I definitely think that the game does need new units from time to time. But I don't think every unit that enters the game needs to be completely new. And I think they've neglected some of their fan favorites. We did get Marie Alter recently, which was nice to see. Yep, we've also gotten like Nito Alter and stuff. So I do think getting some of those characters that people really liked from back in the day, it's really nice for them. There's no actual hard content, so it matters less. Yeah, that's why I said like the whole in-game content kind of matters for that in Genshin, and I'm sure that's going to be the case as well with things like Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero. Though to be fair, like I also feel like the more you roll, the less likely an in-game is to be hard to you, right? The cooldown on Sansang's battery, I believe it's 7 at max rank. It might be 8. I lost everything in Skadi. Is it advisable to give up now and just save for Tez and Cuckoo? That's up to you, right? Like, ask yourself how much you really want having another like quick support option, or Skadi herself, right? Genshin's power creep is very small IMO. I mean, at first it seemed like it was really big. I can't speak to it now because I haven't played Genshin in a long time, so you guys would know better than I would in that regard. But I would also assume that when the well begins to dry up, when people stop rolling for new units because they don't necessarily need them, that's where you can start to expect power creep to really rear its head. Because the devs got to keep you rolling. They got to give you a reason to roll at that point. Though if they were smart, they would just start buffing units. Is Tez most efficient at NP5? Every unit in the game is most efficient at NP5. Does his MP not matter? It can definitely matter. A lot of that's just going to boil down to, like, again, the same sort of age-old statement of it really just depends on what type of, like, node that you think, like, you want to be able to do with him. I'm going to caution everybody right now, and I'm going to say that one of the big issues that we have with 90++ coming into the game is people thinking that they can outwhale it and that they can just sit there with an NP5 and do every single one of those nodes. You cannot. It's not a thing. That is the whole reason why 90++ exists. So I'm going to tell you that you will definitely have units that will trend better across the board in them, but they're not going to be a one-size-fits-all solution. You will eventually have to change off of that unit. Now, that being said, especially in Tez's case, yeah, I mean, I do think like getting NP2 is probably that sweet spot as it normally is. That's going to allow him to do pretty much all the 90+ content and even have a good chance at doing 90++ if the node is suited to him. I'm actually doing the 90++ with an NP1 Okita. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you also probably have a damage she, which, like I said, damage she definitely helps that. You're not going to have a damage she for everyone, though. That is the unfortunate part. Ryder. Oh, Dobrynya. Okay, I'll take it. I think I already have her NP5, though. Dobrynya Nikitic. A new in-game mode called Imaginarium Theater in the hard mode requires you to have 18 units of 2 out of 3 respective elements to use. You also start with 6 separate units that are yours or trial. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. It's interesting to me that they added a new in-game because I know that had been the criticism for a long time was that they basically just had Abyss, and Abyss was not much at all. So I think the only issue I ever had with Abyss is that like 90% of the game's rewards were locked behind Abyss. That is to say, once you had cleared the world out, pretty much all of your weekly stuff. Nice. And we are still not at NP5 Woo. So deeper in we go. He keeps getting away with it. Apparently, I do. I barely got NP1 Rue when I rolled. Yep. So that's your goal. Yeah, totally. However much I want to justify continuing to roll. But no, I know that was the big issue with them back in the day, is that Abyss basically had all the actual like currency rewards locked behind it, and outside of like events, outside of stuff like Welkin, you just weren't really getting a lot. Abyss, to be fair, barely gave you rewards. Yeah, so what if I told you that in the beta it actually gave more? And that was a thing. They actually nerfed Abyss before it went live. Because I had a buddy that was playing basically the Genshin beta. Cad forgetting how much Shank Quartz the next copy of Ibuki might take. You're not wrong. I got NP0 Skadi and NP0 Wu. That sounds awful. Wu was surprisingly stingy in this manner. She almost didn't show up, whereas Skadi showed up almost immediately. She's still doing pretty good. I've got 3 Woos and I'm still under 300 quartz, so I wouldn't call that stingy on my end. But yeah, it definitely, like, your mileage may vary, right? Everybody's roles end up different. They did the worst kind of in-game, have a collection of units or you can't do the in-game at all. Well, about that, so LB7's coming up, chat. And I'm not going to say too much for spoiler purposes, but you should level some units. Don't just think you're going to get away with the same 10 units you've always used. You remember what we did receive in the OC update? Well, what do you mean by what we did receive? Are you asking like how much? Or are you asking like what types of stuff? Because that I can definitely talk about. How much? I don't remember off the top of my head. Because it's a retroactive change. What types of stuff? Yeah, so we got Bond Grails. We got gold. Sorry. Did we get gold foes? Yes, we did get gold foes. We got faux paw prints. Did we get grails too? I think we did get grails. And I'm trying to remember what else we had. There's a lot of good stuff. If you don't have enough characters with a given element, you're unable to even attempt. Yeah, that's just the natural case of having a rock, paper, scissors type system like that. But I do agree that at least, like, say, in FGO, we have rock, paper, scissors, but it's not as bad, right? Like, you can sometimes even counterclass a node, depending. Save a level of your units, does that mean skill too? It very well might. You got a fuck ton of regular foes too? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I didn't remember that because, like, it didn't really impact me too much. I mean, I guess it did. It did help out my JP account, but it hasn't been, like, that big of an issue because I was still... I was working on my foes both before and after still, so... It just lowered the amount of time it's going to take me to complete it. Especially when you can sleepwalk your way through 80% of the Abyss rewards. Well, like, again, I'm going to say this, right? I think the biggest issue that a lot of people have is they have a tendency to forget that they've been playing the game religiously every single day. And when you play a game religiously every single day, you get really good at the game. What do I mean? I mean, even if we don't mean that your skill level is necessarily God tier, your account level is. And so at that point, you've invested a lot of time and effort into your account. And it does become easy to sleepwalk your way through in-game content. We see the same thing before where it's like, you know, again, I've had like a new story chapter come out in FGO, like for instance in LB5, and I've had people be like, LB5 wasn't hard? Pfft. Oh, Cad, what are you talking about? You way overhyped this. And I'm like, did I? Or did you just waltz through with all of your NP5s? Did you just go through with having every unit in the game leveled and so you had a perfect counter to every single mechanic? Doesn't mean that the content's not hard. It just means it wasn't hard for you. And I'm not necessarily complaining on my behalf either. I'm just stating the fact that I do understand that and am cognizant of the fact that I am a whale and I have one of the most robust accounts you can have. So at that point, Yeah, content, if it's hard for me, is probably due to me either not knowing the content that I was taking on ahead of time somehow, like going in blind, or I managed to have messed up somehow, either by taking the wrong setup to the node, or by maybe pressing skills at the wrong time, which has definitely never happened to anyone. Yeah, that's why I bring that sort of thing up. All right, hold on, chat. Yeah, and I've pointed this out before too. Like, chat's watched me struggle through some content on like JP, and then like absolutely curb stomp it with my NA account. Right now, how was that the case? How did that end up being the case? Well, for starters, on JP, I'm usually doing the content as it is completely fresh, and it is in a different language. So there is both a language barrier and a lack of information. So it is very easy when I don't have a super robust account to get my butt handed to me. And it does happen. Like, knowledge is power. The game tells you that when you log in. She didn't use QAlter for everything. Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't mean that there aren't ways around it, but it definitely means that if, like, say for instance, if I'm trying to do it on the clock, like here on stream with you guys, then there's definite issues of trying to like get things done in time. Some sort of comic stretch got spooked by Nyalter, and next multi Achilles came after her, and a couple multis later SR spook. Funnily enough, that happened to be Penth. Oh god. That is pretty funny. You can only imagine her just screaming Achilles. I have repressed memories of fighting Demeter. I had nothing to stop buff removal resist. Yeah, and I'm not like trying to call anyone out here. I'm just saying I think it's important to, whenever you're talking about in-game content, be cognizant of like the level that your account is at, and that may not be the level that somebody else is at, right? Summer Comma rerun should be on Wednesday or so, right? I actually don't remember. I don't remember when we had it set for. My brain is not thinking of that right now, so if someone in chat wants to help out, feel free. Persh, thank you for the 1 year. Appreciate it. Chat, can we get some love for Persh's 1 year, Annie? See some emotes in chat. Summer Comma rerun is July 31st. Yeah, okay. There we go. So it'll be a day after my debut. There you go. That'll be the easy way. Come to the debut and then watch the debut and be like, oh my god, that debut was so amazing, and then totally forget about the fact that the Summer Comma rerun's on the next day. Newer accounts will also get the vet power level eventually. Oh, they will. It's just, that's why I always like stress the concept of like not trying to overstate things, right? All right, there we go. We got another woo. So now we are at 4 woo. Who is woo? Summer Comma with no skin tight outfit is a crime. What do you mean? She doesn't have an outfit at all. Like, she's literally just wearing flames. Unless you guys keep her not in the third ascension, which is like... How much of an upgrade do you think Summer Skadi is in comparison with the OG? I mean, she loses the like defensive nature that that OG has, and shifts it like on the NP, and shifts it to her class. But then from there, I do think she's a lot more offensive, and I think that you know, it's still good to have both and use them both in tandem. But I do believe that Summer Skadi is a just simply more offensive unit overall. She also got the parrot, true. Summer is draining my remaining QP. Understandable. I mean, at least it's also giving some of it back, though, right? Like, You guys should by now have your QP reward maxed, and it should be giving you a ton. Ah. McTankles, I'm tired from other things, not that. But yeah, just real quick chat. We did have quite a bit of gaming news today. So Fires of the Rubicon announced that they sold 3 million units overall, which is still a pretty good result. Apparently Blizzard's World of Warcraft team is unionizing. I think it's a little bit too late at this point. I guess Rox has posted there's a new Bleach game coming out that looked pretty interesting. The fighting game. Apparently, Activision Blizzard is reportedly already making games with AI and has sold an AI generated, or I guess assisted, microtransaction in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. So, like, people have already bought it and didn't even realize. The SAG-AFTRA Guild of Voice Actors is going to be going on strike for video games. So probably going to be a little bit of like difficult to actually get English speaking VAs for video games for a while. And that's a lot of that's also due to AI and the voice actors getting really pissed at this point that companies are not actually like putting in their contracts that they won't use their voice for AI and stuff. Okay. The biggest issue now is Yellow Rider Gems and Hearts. Lucky they both dropped from 90 plus, indeed. Could see a bunch of gacha games going Snowbreak route and removing English VAs. I don't think they'll remove English VAs over something like that. Like, it's different when they're striking and they're not striking you, but they're striking like in general. Versus like in Snowbreak's case, they were literally like VAs saying, we don't like the direction of your game. You need to change it or we quit. And so at that point, the devs just said, all right, you quit. Which is like chat was saying the other day, it's like, it's just based, right? Like straight up. They just told the people to take a hike rather than actually like, bend to their wishes. Wait, that means summer cons won't have these voice actors either? So you say that, I'd be willing to bet that they'll still go to it, Maestro. Because not working with a company is different than, hey, I got invited to a con where I can make money on the side. But it might, right? Like, that'll just depend. I can understand why English VAs would not be happy with the AI thing. It's like stealing something unique to you. Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's different in the case, like, we have seen a couple of uses of it where, like, the VA died and they had permission to use the voice. Or, like, in a case of, hey, you know what, VA, what if we just, like, AI'd this one line that we needed fixed and you don't have to fly all the way out here, right? Like, I think that would be okay. But I'm also going to say, even in that second example, you better be paying money. Oh, hell no. I ain't listening to this again. Yeah. Their voice is their whole job. Exactly. So, like, I completely understand it. That went poorly between OpenAI and ScarJo. So what did they oh right, yeah, because I remember they apparently, like, one of their AI voices is just straight up Scarlett Johansson. Like they just immediately like had fed her voice to AI and tried to use it to train it, which is wild. Like, I did see as well something on Twitter that I guess I guess there's a big issue right now with like some other AI project, some AI like video creator has straight up lifted like millions of YouTube videos and fed it to their algorithm to train it, including, and this is where they're fucked, including Nintendo videos. Which just means that Nintendo's gonna go and murder them. Like, this is the showdown that we've been waiting for. Nintendo is going to take out all their pent-up angst over Pal World on whatever poor AI company that is. They're gonna annihilate him. Oh, hell yeah. Mario about to show up at someone's front door and claim their kneecaps. Yep. And apparently they also took like Mr. Beast videos, like several other like prominent YouTubers in this, which is just like, it's just nuts to me that they did that. And all of it without permission, right? I understand exactly the same way. This is why like artists get pissed off for the same exact reason. I think it's difficult. It's going to be near impossible to prevent. And so what I think, instead of trying to prevent it, which never works, no matter what you ever try to do, whenever you try to prevent something from happening, rather than like disincentivizing it or incentivizing the opposite action, whenever you try to prevent it, it happens even more, or it happens like in ways that you don't anticipate or expect. You can't stop it, right? So at that point, it's probably better for them to say, you know what? All right, you can do that. You can use it to train your AI, but everything that you use in that process must be cataloged, and you must pay like royalties to the people that you actually took it from. And that'd be pretty wild, but I feel like at least at that point, it would curb a lot of that. It's like, set rules, set restrictions, don't try to stop it entirely. Because if you try to stop it entirely, they're just going to keep doing this. I mean, look at like anime piracy, look at really any form of piracy that's prevalent nowadays. South Park episode about Mickey Mouse. There's going to be a Mario version of that? Oh, hell yeah. This company in like Russia? I don't know. I need to definitely check out what it was, because I saw it, but I didn't see it, right? Gina Carano is going to try to make take the mouse to the cleaners. Yeah, I still feel like that Disney lawsuit, like I know a lot of people didn't agree with her or like what she said, but I still feel like they fired her even though she apologized for it, and I'm like, it just feels kind of bad, right? Like, I understand the like need to do that sort of stuff and to say like, hey, this person is being belligerent, they're not listening to us. But I also feel like when the person, like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't her first offense, but like if it is their first offense and they apologize for it, you shouldn't be firing them over that. And there we go. Another Spark woo, which is kind of wild because I haven't seen a Spark in a hot second. Really waiting for Summer Okitan? Yeah. I need advice. I just finished rolling for Skadi. It cost me 300 Saint Quartz. Now I have 530 remaining. Do you think it's worth to try it for NP2 or to save it to roll later in the year? Free to play, by the way. If you're free to play, I wouldn't bother trying to get NP2 of Summer Skadi. I would just say take your single copy, save for other stuff, or heck, even like go and like throw it on like Proto Merlin or Ibuki or something like that. I know I'm getting old when I used to religiously watch the summon animations, and now I just double tap skip to the 4 to 5 stars. I do understand that, like, part of this is too, as the game has like dragged on, I think people have naturally had to like mentally divest from it to a degree. because people were like really obsessed with FGO, right? And I still think to a degree we all are, but like not as much as we used to be. I think that has been the necessary reaction to like stop yourself from going insane. Is like as you're waiting on like new content, as you're waiting on new story, like you have to like find some way of coping. Yeah, we do get EO. EO is going to be a really, really good welfare. I need to bed, so I skippa. I understand. Like, I'm not gonna fault anyone that skips on their own. I've just pointed out it's like you get people that try to like ask the content creator to skip, and I'm like, okay, but why? Like, you're literally saying, hey, content creator, skip your content. And I'm like, but no. Joshi, thank you for the follow. Welcome. And Opai Seijun, thank you for the follow as well. Yet another pack. Chat. What if we keep going? What if we keep going? Make people pay to skip. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to do that to people, right? Like, if people want to spend money on me, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not going to say that's, like, necessarily a scummy thing to do, but it's just, like, I don't know. I just have resolved myself to the fact that rolling is good content, and it is, like a high-tier just chatting stream where we get to just chat, but we have, like, the, like, almost like the Minecraft jumping puzzle on the screen going while we're telling the story. It will be damage C with my Hoku Saber. Now I can farm 90++. Nice. There's a tactics video of Summer Skadi. Oh boy. I bet it tells you to use the 3 skills. Skip rolls fun doing more than 11 rolls. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I've definitely skipped before in the past, but usually that was like angry skipping, and that was before I streamed. Summer tier list vidwin. I will probably be making that post debut during well, we'll probably already have announcements, so I don't know that we're going to get to that one. It'll depend, right? I'll see if I can get to it, but I'm definitely not going to have time before debut. Himiko Io Johanna. Actually, I'm not going to have time. Maybe I'll have time like tomorrow. So we'll see. What is Cad's debut? What or when? Because when is the 30th, so literally next Tuesday. But what is I'm going to be becoming a VTuber, which means you'll not be able to see my ugly face anymore. My face that desperately needs a haircut. Thanks for answering. No problem. Damn, that's the best part. See, I heard it was the worst. And chat's asked me before, am I going to like never show my face ever again? And I'm like, I will probably stay VTuber for quite a while afterwards. Another woo. There we go. But I'm not going to say that like you'll never see my face ever again. It's just one of those deals where it's like, because I'm going VTuber, I need to actually like justify it some. But I'm probably not going to be like every other VTuber that's allergic to actually show their face. Because I've already been showing my face for years, right? I never understood the whole VTuber thing. I was skeptical at first myself. Now I understand it a lot more. Why are you? Mostly because I feel like it's going to be a really cool thing to do. I feel like it's a way to step the channel up. And I also feel like it's going to help in a lot of ways with both branding and the ability to like network with people. RNG lets you crit down the first 2 waves. Yep. Himiko Io Johanna? Well, I'm probably not fucking Io or marrying her. So at that point, I think you marry Johanna, you fuck Himiko, and yeah. Damn, that's a lot of woos. Oh no, this is nothing. YouTubers are just cool to let you express yourself. Yeah. I have no issue with it. Like, the thing that I didn't like is when the craze first started, everybody and their brother was jumping to become a VTuber. And you had so many like bad actors in that. You had so many people that were like, hey, I'm gonna be a VTuber, and you know, like, oh, I'm gonna like completely pretend that I'm somebody that I'm not. I'm gonna be a total scumbag behind the scenes, but like, hey, look at me, I'm like the sweetest person ever on stream. Usually you guys just get me. Like, I don't really try to change my my personality in any way, shape, or form for stream. I think the only thing I try to do is I try to curtail my cursing. Networking and VTubing is a big deal. Yeah, I will say that's kind of the downside. VTubers will insist this isn't the case. I will insist otherwise from numerous experiences. VTubers usually do not like associating with non-VTubers. And I hate that. It really shouldn't be that way. But it sadly is. And unfortunately, especially in the like weeb sphere of things, a lot of this at this point is pretty much dominated by VTubers. So it's important, I think, at this point, if you're going to step into this like category, to basically have the ability to be one. You gonna wear PJs all day long? I already do. I mean, like, I do when I'm not at work, right? I still have my day job, so. Goodbye social life for a while? Excellent. You can only pretend for a limited time if you're being... Yeah, that's... I feel like it's very difficult for people, and I think that's one of the reasons that you do see people burn out of being a VTuber, is I think they straight up, like, they can't keep living the lie. And I'm not saying that, like, every VTuber's a liar. What I am saying is there are definitely some that are. There are some that straight up try to hide who they truly are with that. And I don't think that's a good thing to do. Cad letting his hair grow out with VTubing? I mean, I'm already letting it grow out, so. Ladies don't need to do makeup. Listen, the amount of VTuber streams that I've watched, and I've heard the VTubers say that they do not shower, is just wild. You plan to make a video for the 26 million downloads campaign? Yeah. You have to work in your PJs and Cat W your boss until he submits to it. Well, my boss is my dad, so good luck. I never understand why VTubers don't associate with non-VTubers. It's not a hard and fast rule, but I definitely noticed this from a lot of them. Yeah, like, so, like, you definitely have a lot of bigger VTubers have realized that that's a really stupid idea, and that they're just limiting their choices if they choose not to collab outside of VTubers. So at least the bigger ones seem to realize, hey, we should definitely be collabing with other streamers regardless of whether or not they're a VTuber. But your smaller VTubers almost like clutch their pearls and they don't seem to get that. And usually where I've seen where a VTuber will be willing to associate with you, it's if you're a regular streamer, it's if you're bigger than them. Then they're willing because they sense the potential for growth. Are you going to make a scenario lore for your VTuber avatar? Yes. And it's not done. But I'll have announcements with regards to that. Have you considered leaving a big, large, bold mustache and or long beard? I have definitely, like, during COVID grown out like the Cat of War beard. It's still floating around somewhere. In fact, I think Cad Stare has it, but you can't see how much beard there is actually in that emote. I already answered that, Dickie. The bigger ones become because of collabs. Yeah. Listen, the bigger ones are big for a reason. They're smart. I've seen people be like, oh, well, you know, like, God, this big VTuber is an idiot. Like, look how stupid they are. And I'm like, no, they're so much smarter than the rest of us. You have no idea. It doesn't mean they don't do some stupid stuff now and then, but half the time it might be on purpose. But yeah, like, straight up, the big ones are smart. They know. They got big for a reason. They don't limit their options. They take every opportunity that they can get. So, didn't hear that part. Oh no, it's all good. But no, I like again, I'm trying to like speak about this, but I understand that it's like it's very much on a person to person basis. So it's difficult to talk broadly about these sorts of things. Like for instance, what I was saying earlier, it's like, yes, I do think that's why some VTubers suffer from burnout. There's plenty of reasons VTubers suffer from burnout besides that, right? And we definitely have seen VTubers retire that, you know, it basically was pressure, like external pressure that had nothing to do with them necessarily. So they got to that size with this help though. Yeah, I mean, like, I have definitely seen big real life people collab with VTubers. I have seen very few non-big people. And what's pretty wild, and I do want to say this, is I feel like a lot of VTubers probably feel like they can't stay in persona, that they can't keep the consistency of their lore intact, all of that if they're collaborating with just some real life person. Well, I get that. It's also very easy to just be like, hey, real life person, can you pull up you know, our collabing app and basically upload a photo of you that's some caricature rather than your actual face? That's not that difficult. And I'd be willing to bet that just about every single like real life streamer worth their salt could easily do that. And so that's why, like, I think it's not as big of a deal as most of them probably think it is. And so it's very easy to do a collab no matter what. That being said, doing collabs does come with a little bit of a risk. You have to make sure that, like, you're on the same page as people, and that, like, you're not going to, like, get into the collab and immediately be like, God, I fucking hate this person and I never want to collab with them again. You have to find people to collab with that you gel well with. I think you just want to somehow hate on them, to be honest. No. I don't know why you think that. I mean, let me be clear here, chat. There are definitely VTubers that have given me, like, very negative reception. So yeah, fuck those. But I just don't assume that to be the case with, like, every VTuber, right? Like, I'm not somebody that immediately goes like, oh, all VTubers are bad, right? I did feel that way at first, but the more I looked into it, because part of it was like the phenomenon of VTubing was so perplexing to me when it first happened, and then the more I looked into it, the more I understood it, and the more I was like, oh, okay, this is not that bad. VTubers tend to shy away from their persona and lore as time goes by. Yeah. Why is this an assassin? Ah, Chiome. I know what you did, Avalon. I know what you did. I know you're out there. You're still doing it. Sometimes the collab is just a job not really needed for the people to get along. It's better content if they do, though. Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, when you're in there and it's a like a good thing, right? When you know the person, when you get along with the person, you're very relaxed, you're very likely to be jovial and joking and like be able to play off of each other. So it's so much more important to have that. But yeah, like sometimes it's just a job and you just got to promote a product. Quite literally, like what's her face? Time VTuber from HoloLive, whose name is escaping me. Crony, yeah. So like quite literally like Crony when she was doing the FGO collab. You could tell Crony straight up just like wanted to maul about FGO. And that like I said this before, I'm like, I don't hate Crony or anything like that, but they should absolutely not have Crony back because she didn't do a good job. Like if that was her job, if she was getting paid to do that, she absolutely threw the game under the bus. But then they got her back again, and then she promised to play, and she started getting like, oh, hey, man, these units look really desirable, and they haven't done another one since. So, like, we still have no idea if Crony actually did play. I wasn't talking about you or hating on VTubers. Oh, no, it's all good. I never assume malice from people unless, like, somebody's actually, like, adding me constantly and doing that. So it's like, for all I know, I may have said something that rubbed you the wrong way, and then that may have been why you made the statement. But if it was not directed to me, that's perfectly okay. I too got a Chiome. Understandable. Did you wash your feet before pulling? Fuck. I did not, but I'd still say we're doing okay, right? Kind of add a loop what happened with Crony. So Crony and Ina did 2 different streams where they promoted FGO and A. And honestly, like, Ina was fantastic. Crony, though, especially in the first one, just wanted to maul about how she had tried to play the game once before and how it screwed her gacha-wise. And that's really all she said the entire stream. It was that over and over and over and over and over again. It was kind of funny, but it was also like, oh man, this is kind of sad, and it's probably not convincing anybody to play the game. So it was probably not a good showing for being sponsored to like promote the game, right? Yeah. They did 2. I only remember the first one. Yeah, they did 2. Crony apparently tried to play in the very like in the very beginning when it came out, right? But that's what I was saying. Like, now at this point, since they did the second stream, I would very much like to see a third stream, because I want to like know, has Crony picked up the game and played it, and has her account gotten anywhere? But I said this before and I'll say it again. I want the stream to be not from Ina, but like, so both the first 2 times it was Ina streaming with Crony collabing in, and you were getting to see Ina's like account and stuff. I want the reverse. I want it to be Crony streaming with Ina collabing in, and we get to see Crony's account. Because I want to know, is Crony full of shit or not? I want to know, is she actually playing the game, or was she just basically telling a lie? And like I said, if she's not playing the game, I don't fault her. But at that point, all I'm going to say is, then as much and as obsessive as probably the localization staff from Aniplex is over those 2, they probably shouldn't choose Crony at that point. I think the whole reason they chose Crony in the first place is just because her mom is Wada Arco. And again, Crony's popular, I get it, and that's probably why people like her. But if she's A, not going to play the game, and B, not going to represent it well, then they shouldn't have her be the person for the collab. It should straight up be somebody else. And there are other probably HoloLivian VTubers that do play. So it's kind of weird in that regard. Are they still not allowed to stream after Solomon? I think they have to get permission is the biggest issue, and they may not have had it for a while. Also culture-wise, Pekara, Nodoka, and Fubuki have been streaming on Japan. Yeah. Roll's been good. Roll's been pretty okay. And thank you, Lobster. Mama's Wada Arco? Mother in VTuber sense. So your mother is your artist, your father is your rigger. So in a VTuber sense, Crony's mother is Wada Arco. Yeah. Sorry, I need to get the rest of chat up to speed with VTuber lingo. Because I know that's an issue. Tesla, thank you for the 62. How you doing today, bud? Thank you for the 5 years. What MP is Skadi at right now? Still 2. They can stream Camelot and Babylonia because there is media anime movies about them already out. I mean, Solomon should already qualify for that as well, right? I don't even watch VTubers, so I don't know one. You're about to. Cad, why is Wu being shy? She's not for me, but I could definitely understand she being shy for other people. In that regard, I don't know. VTuber lingo, I mean, Cad, are you single? Yes. Yes, just like most other VTubers. Katana, thank you for the 8 months. Appreciate it. Yeah, can we get some love for our resubs? Yeah, I don't think it has to do with the fact that there's media. I always assume that the reason that they have to get permission, guys, is because the fact that they are closely connected to a major corporation means that, like, you need to keep an eye on them and make sure they're doing everything the way it should be done. And if they start bad-mouthing your shit, you're not going to give them permission to do more. So that is going to be kind of why. Wait, did that fly over Cad's head? I think it did. You talking about the lingo in single comment? Yeah, that definitely flew over my head if there was some ulterior meaning. I'm not a VTuber expert. I do want to say that. Oh, is chat trying to figure out, like, the lore of my character? I'm not going to tell you that. Not yet. When I first saw Crony's design, I was interested till I saw her personality. I don't hate Crony's personality. Like, in all seriousness, the only reason that I was able to, like, tolerate Crony being there, despite her bad-mouthing the game, was her personality. Crony is pretty funny. Like, even with that first stream, it was pretty atrocious for her. But at the end, she gave us the great line of, "Let's F go." And I'm like, that's freaking awesome. So, like, at minimum, you can tell that, like, she is definitely a memer and, like, you know, enjoys having fun. So it's like, whether or not she wants to play the game is her own issue. And that's all I'm gonna say, is that at the end of the day, I think it's more on, like, the localization staff to go, hey, maybe we shouldn't get a streamer in here who's not actually interested in promoting our stuff, right? And that's the same with, like, any game. Like, when we're talking, like, a game that's looking for a content creator to promote their stuff, don't work with content creators that you don't think are a good fit for you. Straight up. That is always the case. Is this person single? Like, can I date this person? It's not always a streamer, but like you say, you mention your brother or your dog, and then chat goes, is your brother or dog single? Like, as they have a chance in dating or marriage, and the streamer gets mad for trying to flirt and being weird. Yeah, that I kind of understand. I can't say I've ever, like, seen that, but I will admit, if there is stuff that is more prevalent in HoloLive, I definitely don't watch as much HoloLive. And not that, like, oh man, I hate HoloLive. I just don't watch as much HoloLive. Because the majority of where I do watch streams is on Twitch. So in that regard, I don't end up seeing a lot of it on the YouTube end, and that's why I'm not going to be exposed to the Hololivers. So I do get to watch a lot more of like V Shoujo and a lot of the people over here, rather than like, you know, people on the I'd say more Japanese end of it. Role playing the joke of VTuber fandom are parasocial and desperate to date anyone. Yeah, that I got. She likes the game, but more so from a character art aspect more than the gameplay. I would say she probably also feels maybe a little bit like obligated because of who her mother is. And that would be why she would probably want to get into FGO, but maybe she's not actually interested in the gameplay, like you said. Any Phase Connect? I've definitely watched Pippa. We've raided Pippa. Unfortunately, the raid to Pippa was terrible because we raided while she was in the middle of karaoke and she didn't even notice. So I'm not gonna fault her though, because that's like that sort of stuff's difficult when you're dealing with so much crap. So maybe we just gotta find a different time to raid Pippa. When do you plan on bullying the NACQ? Oh, that's a good question. Do I have it unlocked yet? I think I have to do all the side quests, and I haven't done that yet. Juana's a huge favorite of her. She loves Nero and characters she draws. Yeah. I mean, I can see how she loves Nero, because, like, if you were to recolor Crony's hair to blonde, she would look like a Nero face to a degree. Her outfit wouldn't, but the rest of her face and, like, and hair, absolutely. Are you single? Yes. Oh, I can't even hear that. There we go. I'm a water arco some. Yeah. She's blue Nero bride. Yeah, to a degree, right? And that's like, again, like I said, I don't really have any issue with Crony. The issue is more like I'm surprised that the devs would allow somebody to basically sit there and like bash the game that much. Matta Chorlet, thank you for the follow. Truly VTuber behavior, yeah. Just to see what a gold ruler card looks like, 500 Saint Courts and Skadi. Yeah, honestly, this hasn't been a thing now. Now we are definitely in the realm of like, hey, this is getting kind of bad. At least from the last one. We can't have Hanako Green sponsored by LaSingle then? You can't have anybody sponsored by LaSingle, because if you're not one of the corporate people, you're not going to get it. And at least in Hanako's case, I'm sure he probably still plays on the side, but I haven't seen him stream the game in a long time. Extra was how I got into Fate, yeah. Yeah, I think the issue at play with like LaSingle and stuff like that is that it's not LaSingle, it's Aniplex. Aniplex doesn't like associating with any other like content creator. I did see recently they apparently had some sort of like God, what was it? Trubs was telling me they recently, it was alongside the ability to purchase courts on JP from their website. They also now have a new like update to their like it's like sponsored persons or whatever, like representative persons like policy. And so in that regard, I do think that they maybe are changing some of their mentality on some of this stuff, but we'll see, right? As far as it has been, they have said absolutely no to any sort of sponsorships, and the only ones that they have allowed are Hololive. They are the rare exception, and that has only happened in the past like year. Hello, Barry. How's it going? I don't have tea, but I do have a ton of water. Once more into the abyss. This copy is proving difficult, chat. First 2 copies were easy. Next couple copies, not so much. Hope rolls are going well. Skadi has evaded me once again. Oof. Are we still going for Ibuki rolls later? We can, unless I run out of time, but I don't anticipate running out of time. I only got my Ibuki to level 104 before I ran out of QP. My other 120s are finally catching up with me. Yep. It's a thing. So now, chat, and I'm dead serious on this. Now you're going to get to a point where if you have the resources, you'll be able to keep going. If you don't, you won't. So, like, for instance, for me, do you know what's stopping me? It is up till this point, I have used all of my grails. So I couldn't grail anymore even if I wanted. But if I didn't, like if I hadn't gotten to that point where I'd used all of my grails, then the focus shifts. And that's actually what's going to happen over time as I keep grail casting. I'm going to keep getting more and more grails, but I'm not necessarily going to be able to keep up with the amount of embers that I need. And so at that point, it's going to get pretty spicy as it's just going to require more and more and more, but I'm not going to have the capacity to keep up with it without actually devotedly farming and appling that. So you're going to see as some people have the capacity to keep going because they just have an infinite number of grails, but most people will eventually just straight up get outpaced by the rate of acquisition of grails into the game. Kat, are you gonna go watch Deadpool? No, like I said, I have like no one to watch it with, unfortunately. Only went to box 100 the past 2 lottos, so I really need another one ASAP. Yep. Time to do 1,000 boxes. Doing 1,000 boxes is usually not worth it. You end up, with a lot of waste after a certain point of box opening. Like that sort of thing is usually only worth it for the actual ascension mats if you like desperately need them. And even then, you guys got to remember when you're rolling lotto boxes, you're only getting 4-star embers. You're not getting 5-star. Seeing Deadpool in IMAX 3D, nice. You're probably gonna be able to see him get shot in the ass in 3D then. I spent almost all the time I had stocked up to the level the summer units plus arc. Yeah. That's what I've realized is that like while I'm at the point right now where there's no pressure on me because I have used up all of my grails, I guarantee I will not be able to keep that going. I guarantee I will run out. And to be fair, I may want to do that anyways. I may want to run out of embers and let the grails stock up because I will go into a lotto. And at that point, like, yeah, I may get enough from a lotto to like complete a 120 or something. So it just depends. I do wish that to a degree the lottos had 5-star embers in them, but I also understand why they won't give that to us. Past 100 with 4-star embers takes quite a while. Oh, hell yes, it does. Cuckoo will be the 3rd, so I had time to stock up. Nice. Yeah, this is... So, probably next month I should be able to finish my Castoria, which will make... Let me think. I've got Bunny... I've got Lancer, I've got Artoria, I've got Squirtoria, I've got Rider, and then that'll make Castoria. So I will have 6 120s on NA. And then I will literally start heading into probably MHX after that. So I'll start working on my 7th 120. And my JP, I think my JP already has like 4 or 5. Which, obviously JP's had the mechanic a lot longer, but my JP farms far less and is far less developed than my NA account. What do you think about pure prisms and lotto boxes? I think that would ultimately be a waste, as you would completely clear the pure prism shop eventually. And while you would get all of those resources, a good chunk of it would probably be for materials that you don't need. And then after that, everyone would be screaming for them to expand the pure prism shop, and it just wouldn't happen. I'm going to remind y'all, while everybody wants more pure prisms, you are ultimately limited to basically 100 of each of the resources. And the reason for that is because they don't want it to replace the need to actually farm in the game. Farming is the true end game in FGO. So while everybody wants it to get around it, they're not going to let you have a like full free ride so that you never have to farm, right? The thing, and this is a change that I can get behind, is I would really like to see them go, you know what? You are limited to 100 of all the gold mats, 200 of all the silver mats, and 300 of all the bronze mats. That would be better. The fact that it's 100 across the board for all of them vastly benefits gold mats. Straight up. What about your Saberface Valkyrie? Oh no, I'm going to level up all my units besides that, so. I think Chad underestimates how many embers I actually have. There's a lot of servants that want to Grail to 100. Yeah, that's like, so I saw like when Grailing to 120 first came out and like we had that anniversary, I saw people get like 2 or 3 120s out of the gate. And I'm like, that must be nice to have those Grails. Because like, I didn't have spare Grails because I had leveled all of like an entire set of Artoria faces to 100 already. I had an entire support list of level 100s. And now we're going for an entire support list of level 120s. Do y'all think a PC port of FGO is plausible? Oh, certainly. And I want to say this. Now that we have an account system on JP, and we have a system by which you can go through their website and buy quartz, you now have the ability to start that path. Why is it another writer? I guess I have a more powerful Odysseus now. It's Mecha Man, yes. It happens. There's not much I can do about stuff like that, though. Adi said ice cream. Yep, it do appear to be that way. Spooks do be hurting. Okay. He won't come home because I'm more of a Macross guy? I see. They should just severely reduce the farm. Threes and areas that come to question in the QP and gems and pieces. I mean, no, I'll tell you right now. QP, gems, and pieces are not even that bad. You know what actually needs the farm reduced on it? Gold mats. Like, nobody ever wants to farm a free quest for gold mats. It's that bad. Like, straight up, the Ordeal Call node that just came out that gives us Dragon Reverse Scales, you went from like 130 AP per drop, with the best node being in Babylonia, to now only 30 AP per drop. They reduced the drop rate by 100 AP. That's how fucking insane the difference is between the Ordeal Call nodes in some cases and the normal nodes. Hello, Prophet. How's it going? QP and gyms are a lot away from being dead. Yeah, like, QP and gyms are really not that big of a deal. Statues, I think, probably are. And it's really interesting that, if you guys remember, when we got the ability to vote for rerun of events, we couldn't vote for anything prior to year 5. So you could not vote for something like the old Da Vinci Lotto. So that was definitely rough. Any luck, Cad? We've had some. Not a lot. How would FGO function on PC control-wise? clicking. You just click the buttons. I mean, there are already people that do that on emulator anyways, so. Like, I don't think it'd be that crazy, but it would also be cool if they added, like, with an actual PC client, like, maybe the ability to hit, like, numbers 1 through 9 on your, like, keypad or keyboard, and that would press, like, skills. That'd be really cool. That would allow people to do it pretty fast. Mostly talking about gold gems, personally. Yeah, and I feel like at least for gold gems, they're not too bad other than casters. Caster gold gems are pretty rough because everybody always needs a bunch because of all the... you have not only single target and AoE for casters, but you also have support casters. And support casters are the ones that you end up doing a ton of leveling on. Like skills-wise. Look at the reverse 1999 PC version. Yeah, I have no idea how reverse 1999's gameplay even is. Very similar gameplay. Huh. That's weird. It's very similar gameplay, and they use terms like Chaldea in it. How would FGO function console-wise? That would probably be a lot more bad. You'd probably have to do like a joystick wheel where you'd like... That'd be the fastest way to select skills. Managed to get Summer Skadi and Lady Avalon. I have 800 Senquarts left. Do you think I should go in a bit for Ibuki or save for NP5 Draco? You're gonna have to save a lot if you want NP5 Draco. So that if that's your goal, I would tell you to basically start saving for Draco now. But if you can chance the possibility of not getting to NP5, then yeah, Ibuki would definitely be a good pickup for right now. But it does depend on what other units you already have. Skadi came home at the 30th multi, one before pity. Gacha is surely cruel. Had you rolled your paid La Single that day? Because if so, that's probably why it was actually still pity. But yeah, I've had that myself. I've had both 1 and 2 rolls before pity, and it's been like, son of a bitch. It always sucks when you're at like 870 quartz and then you end up getting the unit not pity. Because you're like, well, I would have gotten it anyways. Persona 5 Gacha is rumored to be getting a console release. Yeah, I don't really understand that. Like, I think I saw that Wuwa is coming to PlayStation, and I'm like, well, I can understand people want to play on something that's not their phone. I don't really particularly get console otherwise. Still rolling for Summer Skadi? Yes. Hold up, NP5 Ibuki? Yes. Chat's caught on. Put my Skadi at pity as well. Ugh. Yeah. My condolences to anyone that had to go to pity. I understand. Okitan and Karen for my quick farmers. Yeah. There's P4 music. Mm-hmm. It's kind of about Roland, by the way. That's wild. Yeah, I mean, I know it's more like Roaring Twenties aesthetic. I just got spooked by Napoleon on the Skadi banner. Ugh. I just got Odysseus, and he was the first SSR we've seen in like 600 courts, so... BG3 question, did you free Orpheus in your run? No, in none of the runs I have done have I freed Orpheus. And that's, there's a good reason why, but basically it definitely, to me, makes the run harder. Why did that not? Alright. Here we go. Who'd you turn into a squid? You can get around turning people into a squid. You don't have to turn everyone into it. You can basically talk him down and convince him otherwise. I'm waiting on it to come back, chat. Just give me a sec. There it is. Took me 1470 Senquartz to NP5 Summer Ibuki, but also got spooked by Odysseus and Tai Gong, so I guess the rolls are okay. Yeah, I usually look at the like gravity of the spook and I say like, was this spook good for my account? Did this make one of my units stronger, or is this just a unit that I never see myself using? If it's I never see myself using that unit, then I'm not happy about the spook. Unless it's like a first copy, then I'm a-okay with it. But that being said, I'm also not somebody that'll just sit there and go like, I'm so angry about the spook, so now I'm gonna like I'm basically gonna like burn the unit or something. I don't get why people do that. That's just weird to me. Draco is my next serious role, though if Melu gets a banner, I might be too weak to skip it. Well, but consider, Taz, that you're going to get Summer Melu next year. So what do you do then? Does it depend on the situation to rather you'd take Odysseus and DVR? Yeah. DVR is way better at like helping the party out and like getting everybody to their NP. Odysseus literally removes all defense buffs from the enemy. So you're not stopping Odysseus. He's dealing damage to you. So he's very nice in certain circumstances. What, both at high MPs, so I'm screwed. Well, now you have your answer. Got spooked by Jean on the Ibuki banner, my first copy. I'm not mad since I like John, but she's useless to me. I don't need stall units, so I'm kind of conflicted. I really want them to buff John. She used to be so good of a unit. And yes, it was stally, but it just was the case of like sometimes you really needed that. Well, I understand we're kind of gone from the stall meta in that regard. I would still like to see them improve her kit so that she's much more usable. I haven't used mine since DVR MP2 level 100. Understandable. Mel is why I didn't roll Summer Ibuki. Not because she's better, but because there's not much point in having both, and I want Summer. I mean, look, I'm gonna say this, Hort. Like, good for you, because I have seen so many people be like, "Oh my god, like Summer Ibuki's even better than Summer Mellison. She's even better than so and so and so and so," and like everybody needs to roll, and I'm like, no, you don't. Like and the reason I can say this with confidence, chat, is I played through the entirety of JP's last 2 years without my own Summer Ibuki. I just never needed it. There were times where Summer Ibuki was very good, but in every single one of those circumstances, I could get away with someone else. So yeah, like that's what I'm trying to say, is that good for you in prioritizing the unit that you actually want instead. I feel like the community at times does not want you to do stuff like that. You get them all to 120? Nice, Ninja. Well, my funniest spook is still Artoria. Straight up. No doubt about it. Metaslaving is how you don't have fun with this game. It's also how you just continue to like feed the beast, right? Like the devs want you to roll in P6 And I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Rolling NP6 is dumb. Don't do that. You're just absolutely feeding into it. If you want the game to get better, don't roll the 6th copy. It doesn't mean you can't get spooked and accidentally get the 6th copy, but it basically means that if you keep sitting there and rolling for like more, you're just sort of incentivizing the devs' bad behavior, right? So in the same degree, you also don't want to necessarily like meta slave to everything, and you don't want to like have to acquire every unit in the game. If you do that sort of thing, you're still also just feeding the beast. Oh! Thank God. That was a lot of talk about John earlier, so I was like, please let it be Skadi. All right, there's the 3rd copy finally. The drought is over for now. Skedaddle skadoodle. The only reason I rolled Ibuki is because my Space Ishtar is almost max bond, so I need a new unit. Yeah, and I've said, like, it's not really worth it just for the purposes of bonding, but I totally understand why people would want it in that regard. So, like, it is what it is, right? Like, I'm going to say again, if people wanted to roll Ibuki, that's perfectly fine. I'm not trying to shame anyone for rolling Ibuki. The only people I would try to shame are people that try to tell people that you have to have Ibuki. It's okay to stump for a unit. It's okay to make a good case for why you should get them. But I feel like, unfortunately, with certain units, the pressure in the community is, like, extremely high. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The only units that I'm okay with that pressure really actually being high for are the supports. Because the supports actually are a quality of life increase for your account. Otherwise, like, people will sit there and they'll be like, oh, well, you know, like, for instance, Summer Ibuki's that. I'm like, that's true, but you could also just have one of the other analogs to Summer Ibuki. With the supports, there's not really other analogs. Like, they are each unique in what they do, and if you don't have one, you don't have that supports kit, and you can't do double of what that support does. So that's always why the supports are very, like, integral to this sort of thing. But they're still the only exception to that I would ever raise up. And I don't think they're must rolls either. They're just, hey, you probably should consider rolling, and if you don't roll them, it's your own fault. Just wanted her for collection purposes, I see. But Cat, everyone needs to roll Draco and Tiamat next year. Yeah, you know how I know you don't need Tiamat? I've also done the entirety of the game without Tiamat. That being said, the last, like, 90++ node on JP, with the dragon, the dancing dragon event, like, oh my god, that 90++ node was bullshit. It was basically a robust cuckoo, the actual Gacha unit, or Tiamat. And if you didn't have one of those, have fun. I'm skipping Draco and Tiamat to get NP2 Tonalico and NP2 Zertoria. Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. There are a lot of good arts loopers out there. Wait, Bob took over. Does that mean that Torak went to bed? Torak went to sleep, you monster. I knew it! It's okay. I don't blame him. I did tell him he could do that, so. Cuckoo's actually my next target. I will probably NP5 Cuckoo. I really like Cuckoo. Not just from a, like, character standpoint, but also from a design standpoint. So, like, I'm not even considering the gameplay aspect of it. I'm coming at it purely from, I really like that character. What do you want, a Ibuki meta? No. Right as art? Yes. Aoyuki voice actor? Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's why, like, again, I've tried to, like, break some of the conditioning, because I want people to understand a lot of the times when you see a lot of pressure in the community to roll a unit, please understand that a lot of the reason for that is usually because it's someone's waifu, and where the pressure gets very high is usually when it's a bunch of people's waifus. It's usually when it's a very popular unit. But it's a-okay to give into that pressure if you also like the unit. The reason I tell you guys this is more so that you guys can understand that you do actually have a choice when other people would make you think you don't. NP5 Kenshin, nice. Yeah, Kenshin's really strong. Do you really need any servant in this game? No, you don't. And that's what I was going to say. Is like the best ones that we can actually stump for are the supports. Do you like the costumes KP gets in the future? KP doesn't get costumes in the future. Thoughts on Izumo no Okuni? What are you, Avalon's Ultra account? Okuni's pretty good. Okuni's a 50% charger, and the way you need to think about it is just that, like, just imagine if Okuni wasn't quick. Imagine if she was like Arts or something instead. There you go. It's that simple, right? Like, so she is a good unit. Don't worry too much about the card type. She is a very good and qualified single target caster. Do you really need? Yeah. I traded a chance at Skadi and Arc. I can fall back on caster Skadi anyways. Yes. She gets her LB7 outfit? Did she? When did that happen, chat? With LB7? Interesting. Maybe I didn't realize because I don't have King Proteo on JP. When are we getting Draco and Cuckoo? Cuckoo will be the second LB7 banner. That's kind of confusing though. So Draco will not be until I think it's what is it, April or May? I think it's late April, early May. Yeah, January is second banner. Oh, it'll be late January. Well, I say that it might not be. There may be some way around that sort of thing. You are certainly getting the start of LB7 exactly when JP did. The second part of LB7 might come sooner. It depends. Depends on what they want to do. Does Kentucky Rider matter for the Evo shop? It can. He's a fantastic unit still. After summer, NA is going to be pretty dead until around the end of the year. Feels bad. No, I disagree with that. I think, in all seriousness, I think after summer, NA is going to be pretty dead until like probably like late August, but not for the rest of the year. Just waiting for our sussy priest, yeah. I'm new to the game. I'm happy to have some rest time to get everything going. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Like, and I've said before too, I don't mind downtime in FGO. I just feel like there's definitely times where there's too much. But it is important to have some. It is important to not always go event to event and to not always like, you know, have multiple overlapping things, because exactly that, like newer players just can't actually get stuff done. Or even, you know, more like mid-tier or even veteran players, if they haven't finished certain goals, they still need time to work on those. At least when an A is dead, JP should be getting hype. Should be, but usually the latter half of the year doesn't have as much. So I know why chat's saying that. I just disagree with the notion that it's dead. Gonna rerun this event, but surely they rerun some of the unit banners. Yes, yeah, all of these summer units. All of these summer units will come back next year. uh, good old K scope. Is that right? Yep. MP31 scope. I have no idea how many I have. He saw your Black Grail vid. Heard you been talking shit. Make one about me now. I could definitely make one about K-Scope, but K-Scope in current year is definitely way devalued over where it used to be. Oh. Okay, we are skipping that song so that we can go straight into K-pop. I hope you're happy. I'm done with the shop for the event. I'm sure you are, Meg. It's your song request. Should I keep farming it or just finish Trom? You're done with the shop for the event. Have you finished like everything? Like, have you done the CQ, done all the side quests, gotten all your Valkyries up and gotten all their copies and all their essential materials? Because, like, if yes, then yeah, there's legitimately no other reason you need to keep playing this. And you can go do Trom. How can you finish shop already? Apples. I still like HSR, but it clearly has less content than FGO. See, that's wild, because like one of the reasons I didn't want to continue with HSR was like the need to like do weekly like roguelike stuff. So it was just like I felt like it was too overbearing for me, which is kind of wild as somebody that plays FGO. But I definitely understand that. It's kind of like with a lot of the new MMOs that have come out, they always get compared to WoW because WoW just has years worth of content that already exists in it. Same thing with FGO. If you're a new player to FGO, you just have like so much stuff that you can do. And some people to be like overwhelming, to other people it will just be like, dude, this is amazing, right? When do they allow 2Cs on one servant when K-Scope be maybe less relevant? The only way, because I don't see them doing that. The only way I could see that being the case is kind of with regards to like maybe they would turn the Bond CE into a passive effect. But I still don't think you would get 2 CEs with one. That would just be the closest, right? As a new player, I'm low-key amazed and overwhelmed. Yeah, again, I will state this time and time again. Obviously, I have a ton of helpful videos. I also have the new player guide, but if you guys ever have questions, you guys can always ask here in chat. And usually either me or one of the mods will get to you. And also, it's an easy time to stump for the Discord. Because, again, our community is pretty good as well. A lot of the players in our community are veterans, and usually they know what's up. I'm not going to say you're not going to get some dumb takes. I have seen some dumb takes in our community, but I feel like at least in our community, there's a lot less, thankfully. We are? You are. Maybe not you, but... Putting Herc on Bonsi plus any other pure attack C is insane. Right, that's why, like, I'm not sure that I'm sold on that idea, right? Like... I've seen a lot of people mention it. It seems to be a popular theory. I can see how for at least some units it would be very broken. For others it would be completely underwhelming, and for probably the majority of them it'd be okay. But yeah, something like Herc is what makes me go like, I don't know about that. Limited 0 over plus Herc Bonsi? Oh yeah. Have you tried using Apple Man for the 90++? Apple Man. Are you talking about oh crap, what's his face? Hunter guy, William Tell. I haven't tried William Tell, but I mean, he does have really high crits with a MLB damage C. You probably could. Is 90 plus plus a good way to farm QP? In the actual event? No. No, not really. Now, you can certainly throw on a QPCE, and if you have to run it to complete the event anyways, keep doing that. But then, you know, maybe you get QP at least in small increments from that. Like, my advice to you guys, if you guys are hounded for QP and you don't have enough, always run your QPC. Always have it equipped. Like, the only exception would be during events. And even then, if you don't roll in the event, odds are you probably got a slot you can throw it into. My dumb take is farmers are irrelevant. You can farm with Ghost of the Opera if you have the supports, roll and support, and the rest is waifu picking. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's irrelevant, but I definitely can understand that, especially if you are somebody that doesn't think too highly of 90 plus plus, right? So like at that point, if you just say, okay, well, I'm content to do a 90 plus node instead of a plus plus node, the game gets a lot easier. The game goes back to its pre-Oberon stages where, yeah, like just having NP1 of every unit like worked. Oh, loves curse. What do you think of the bottom 3 worst servants in the game? I usually don't like to talk about stuff like that. Mostly because it's not that I don't think there aren't servants down there. It's that it inevitably starts like either a flame war or discussions of like tier listing and why people are the way that they are. And usually it's just better to know how the units work in case that unit gets a buff. Woo, again. I have no idea how to say your name. UXXA. Thank you for the follow. Gold currency for about 5 to 6 turn could be the equivalent to level 60 door farming. Yeah, that's true too. But that does depend on like CEs, so. New to the game and I don't have Saint Courts anymore. Should I start saving for Castoria? Or whenever I join stuff, I roll for Summer Skadi? I'm asking Cad, but I'll take chat advice. So, you got Ibuki and Proto from Summer. So, like, I mean, again, at that point, as long as you have, like, maybe the waiver from the ticket and Shufu that you can now get from FP, you already have the makings of a really good comp there for Ibuki. I definitely would recommend saving for Castoria, but you're okay for right now having Proto, because you can always take a support Castoria if you don't have it. The issue at play is if you don't have it, trying to take the support Castoria means you don't get to take like a high octane damage dealer necessarily. So like if you were kind of hoping for like somebody's NP5 to carry you through something, but you had to take the support Castoria, that's going to be the issue. Oh, Johnny Boy, thank you for the follow. I have Waver and Musashi Berserker on my account. Nice. Well, if you have Musashi Berserker, you have a little bit of overlap. But also NP Arc. I assume you mean NP1. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, my advice is generally for people to save for Castoria, but it's up to you. And Castoria will still be, I think, at least... I think we get another banner for, isn't it at the end of the year, chat? Isn't it like December that you guys see another Castoria banner? Yes. All right. Sweet. I saw a setup that used Caesar, the Miu C with Nero Bride and Ruler and Caster Skadi. Jesus, that's nutty. The only thing I don't like about Caesar is the proc is random for how much damage he's going to get. Yeah, I still like the Zenobia C. I hope Zenobia gets a summer version. Unfortunately, I should probably hope that she doesn't, because that would break me. I don't want to have to spend money on JP if I don't have to, but I will. When's next Oberon banner? That one's also good for new accounts. Also December. Yeah, Oberon's fantastic. Chat, for those of you guys that don't have Oberon, how are you faring with the 90 plus plus right now? I'm just curious. Not doing it. There you go. Fine, since I'm not using Oberon. Yep. Yeah, some of you are going to get around it by virtue of you don't have to. Others of you are going to be like, damn, I wish I had it. And then others of you are just going to go, screw it, I'm not doing this content. Like, you'll just do it the singular clear for the reward, and that'll be it. Annex, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate it. Yeah, can we get some love? I have Oberon, but I don't use him because of the accidental NP3 Trung. I've heard Trung is very good and strong for this. Oberon will probably be my New Year's GSSR. Yeah. Triple Skadi Okita is easy. Yeah, right now, because I haven't rolled my Skadi yet. I mean, I have, right? But I haven't like leveled her up or anything yet. I had been running Oberon as my backliner, but purely for that reason alone. Let's go, NP4. Uno mas. And then we get to go roll Ibuki again. Double Scotty Okitan has been good enough for me. Nice. How people are doing 90++ without Hoku Saber? It's certainly possible. Like we already said, Saito can do it. There's several like sabers that just can with the damage CE, but a lot of it boils down to like basically having the proper supports and having the damage CE. If you have that, it's pretty doable. If you don't have that, you might struggle. Because like even things like I think someone was telling me that they were doing Creamhild on it, so. I even did it with MHX8. Yep. Yeah. And that's like I've seen people be like, oh, you know, the node's not that hard. I'm like, well, you have an MLB damage sheet and you also have damage bonus. This is the best it gets. It goes down from here. Because sometimes you don't have damage bonus, sometimes you don't have a damage CE, and I low-key kind of hate when they do that. I wish they would just always give you the damage sheet or adjust the health of the node accordingly. Like, don't make the health so high if there's no damage CE. Woo, getting worse. There's 90++ nodes and no damage CE? Yep. As, thank you for the follow. The first 90+, we had damage C for that. Yeah. Alright. Looks like more. The dogs at a re-riot. Listen, dogs are snooze cruising. There is no need to disturb their slumber. Okay. Got spooked by Saber, Arturia Saber, and Scotty's banner. Nice. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people that like will try to downplay Arturia because there are stronger units now, but Arturia is still a very, very solid unit. Like, just because the other units are stronger does not make Arturia bad. So getting spooked by Arturia is still a really, really good thing. I'm playing through DQ11 and it's way better than I was expecting. So I started playing Dragon Quest XI and I got stuck at one point very early in the game and we were playing it on stream and I never went back to it. And I probably should because I have heard that it's good. Like, apparently Japan loves Dragon Quest, so it's one of those IPs that I feel like I need to get into to understand that more. Because it's basically like, the way I can explain Dragon Quest, chat, is imagine a typical JRPG, but it's just done by, like, the artist for Dragon Ball. When does Mordred get her skill 1 upgrade? Not for a little while, at least. It's next year sometime, but I'm trying to remember. Martina in that game, absolutely fine. I see. Free Saber Artoria for everyone in the near future, anyway. Yeah, but at that point, right? Like, that just means, oh, cool. Now she's like in P2 if you already got spooked. Are the rolls coming? Well, they could be better, but right now we're like kind of on average, so I'll take it. Background music of DQ11 is really putting me off, though. Oh? It was early made, so arcade. Yeah, that does sound right. Then we also have the Salter buff. That Salter buff's just absolutely cracked. Is there a cap on buffs in FGO? Yes. Usually either 400 or 500%. There are a couple of exceptions. Most people don't calculate it correctly. What I will tell you is you usually in a standard composition cannot hit buff cap. There's only one exception that I know of, and that's Aoko. And Aoko is specifically coded to be the exception and does not actually hit cap. Or the cap is extended specifically for her. They just need to release a Grand Saber Artoria that has Avalon. Yeah. 840 Saint Quartz for one copy this morning with no spooks and 9 woo. So you were all like, whoa. How you doing, General? Sucks to hear. There's a Salter buff? Wait, didn't we just get the Salter buff at Anniversary Chat? Oh, Annie 8. You're right. Sorry. It wasn't an anniversary, but not this one. I've been looking at too many. Yeah, that's right, because I saw it when I did my anniversary primer. That's what I'm thinking of. Because I was looking back at the prior anniversary. If NP gauge goes past 100%, what does it mean? So, Dom, 100% is what is required for you to be able to fire off a Noble Phantasm. Any amount that you get over that can lead to you getting to a new rank of what is referred to as overcharge. You need another 100% to get to the next rank, though. So, like, in order to get to rank 2 of overcharge, you would need to get to 200%. So, you can go over 100%. It can still be good, but it's not usually going to mean anything until you get to the next breakpoint, basically. There is some advantages to having the ability to go over 100%. Particularly because some units and enemies in the game will drain you. So sometimes getting over 100% and then getting drained means you're still at 100%. So that's where it could be really good. But yeah, usually this gets confusing because there's a difference between having more NP levels, which usually will just increase damage, and then having more overcharge ranks, which has various different effects depending on the unit. So let me see if I can give you a quick example real quick right here. So like with Mephisto, as you go in and you read his NP, you will see that his NP deals heavy damage, heavy defense ignoring damage to all enemies, and has a high chance to inflict curse. The effect increases with overcharge. So the chance to inflict curse increases with overcharge. So if you get to 200%, that will increase his chance. It will not necessarily increase his damage. It might if the overcharge effect that the unit has in their NP is a damage increasing effect, though. So it gets confusing. There's also other ways to get overcharge. There are overcharge buffs, and there is also putting your NP in a sequence. So if you put one NP followed by another NP, the second NP will have an extra rank of overcharge automatically. Osa Fomon, thank you for the follow. I also have an entire video on that. Feel free to go give it a watch. Justice for Leo, he should be a shielder. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that like we should have like a Leonidas shielder and stuff. And the only issue I have with that is just that like Mash is so damn good, I don't know how they balance it. So kind of shocked there was never a Mordred Avenger. To be fair, she doesn't really have anything to avenge lore-wise. I think chat would say that she does, but the reality is like Mordred in and of herself is just always angsty, right? Osafoma, thank you for the tier 1 as well. Chat, can we get some love for our newest sub to the channel? Again, welcome and enjoy your emotes. I'm definitely going to check the video out. Yeah, highly recommend it. In terms of looping for DPS, is double Summer Skadi better than double Skadi? Yes. Yes, double Summer Skadi is better than double Skadi. Almost always. It's weird that I felt Skadi could have had a Zerker version after reading this summer event. No, I can definitely see why you would think that. About Proto Mordred, I heard she's a lot crazier than normal ones. I actually don't know. I have no idea on Proto Mordred, because at least the extent to which I've read Proto, I did not encounter Mordred. Where is Heracles Archer? Whenever we actually get Strange Fake and stuff like that, right? Mo vinged enough in life, pretty much. Like a lot of Mordred's issue, at least in the Nasu verse, is that like Mama lied, and so like basically you have this weird sort of scenario where Mordred was set up to like she was taught that she was the heir apparent and that she was going to be king, and then like basically she goes to confront Artoria, and Artoria is like, huh, no. Because like Artoria doesn't even realize it's her kid, and then at the same time can't even fathom that that could be possible, because the events that led to Mordred's birth happened like 3 years prior, but you're dealing with Mordred, who is already like a teenager at that point, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm coming over from YouTube, and I just wanted to say I came back to FGO after a couple years in February, and after finding your channel, you've really inspired me to keep playing. I'll be here for a good time and a long time. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to know that my videos help. That's like one of the greatest compliments I can receive at this point. Remembering the Nero vid the other day, do you think they'll ever add Agrippina to FGO? Yes, I think that could definitely be a thing, but we'll see. Don't you start with me, Bob. When is double ruler Skadi plug caster Skadi better than plug Oberon? It's difficult. Usually Oberon's almost always going to be better from a damage standpoint. Sometimes caster Skadi, though, is a better third, a better tertiary support, as I like to call it, Air. In the case of refund being the better solution. So it's going to be the case when you actually need more refund out of the unit. It's rare, but there are a couple of circumstances where it does happen. And I think for a lot of people, a lot of it boils down to them either trying to get away with not having to use Oberon, and also potentially them wanting to mix in an original Skadi so that they also have the crit bonus to quick cards. Because if you guys remember, Ruler Skadi does not. Ruler Skadi has a crit bonus to Buster cards instead. Artoria intended to rule forever. I don't know that it was ever even really thought about like that, right? It was more just the case that Artoria definitely recognized the need for an heir. That's literally what leads to Mordred's creation, but it didn't work out, at least from Artoria's eyes. And like I said, remember, a lot of that is like basically Morgan was playing both sides at that point. Opinions on if the 9th Annie servant, Richard the Lionheart or Archimedes. I don't think it'll be either of those, but I would love to see one of those. And who knows? Maybe that's what Ninth Annie is maybe we just get more strange fake news and they go, here's Richard the Lionhearted, right? Part of why Summer Okitan works for 90 plus plus. Her busters hit so hard with Summer Skadi. Yeah. Because my caster Skadi is Bond 15. Oof. What are the odds of getting another Ilya Mew banner for back to school for this year like last year? It'll probably be whatever our Kyomoff banner was supposed to be. I don't remember off the top of my head. I know I covered it in banner review though. Because I know we had the 26 million downloads campaign, and I think that's Space Ishtar. But I don't remember who we had for Kyomoff. Or if that was our Kyomoff banner. Because like some of the years due to COVID, they didn't go to Kyomoff. Haven't had a male Annie servant since Holmes. It would be a nice change of pace. Listen, while I understand that, I have a counterpoint. Boobs. What if it's Archimedes instead? I'd be okay with that. Like, Abino Seime is the easy, like, reference for someone that should be strong, but I'm okay with it being other people. That's 2 points? What if it's 3? There was no Kyomoff banner that year, as far as I remember. Yeah. Yeah, and I was going to say, the Kyomoff banner is usually the one that I think that they have turned into it. Skip if male Annie. I wouldn't necessarily say skip. It just really depends on, like, what it is that I'm trying to, like, do with my account and whether or not I feel like that unit is a good fit for it. I will say that now with where my JP account is at, while it's not nearly as robust as my NA, my JP account's pretty set. So like it very much comes down to like waifu for me and whether or not I'm going to roll. I may have missed you talking about it. Yeah, I didn't make a video on it or anything, but I did talk about the Star Rail Stay Night collab. It's probably a one-sided collab unless they announce something here at anniversary for FGO. So in that regard, it's almost entirely on the Honkai Star Rail side of things, which means not only do I probably not care very much, but also I think you're going to see a lot of people trying to say it's going to be this or that. I already saw that there were rumors about like that you were going to get an entire planet, and I don't know that you necessarily will. So like I know that was leaked ahead of the announcement, but we also like low-key knew that an announcement was coming. It had been talked about very much in their joint interview, and they made it very painfully obvious there was going to be a collab. And if you guys remember when I talked about that interview, I told you, don't freak out if you find out there's a collab. But we'll see, right? So, based off the fact that it's UBW in particular, I think we can guarantee that you probably get Archer Imiya, because that's David Jiang's like favorite character, and he's the lead producer for Star Rail. Outside of that, I don't necessarily guarantee anyone. So we'll just have to see the form that the collab takes. A lot of good welfare lancers in the Leaf Shop. Yep. Yeah, I can't wait for the Evocation Festival to come out on NA, because that's actually going to be a big one. I'll go ahead and I'll say it once and I'll say it again, just in case there is a dev listening. One of the best things that the developers could do right now for NA would be to bring the Evocation Festival to NA early. If they do that, literally every new player is like immediately in a much better position. They're obviously going to make Saber because she's the face of the series. She hasn't been in every collab that they've done, though. So, like, I'm not going to say that she won't be. I'm just also not going to say that she's guaranteed. I'm sure they'll collab with FGO as well. Shouldn't be a one-sided collab. Well, so the only issue with that is that FGO has never. Literally. FGO has never collabed outside of the Nasuverse. So the only times that we have done that have been non-in-game things. So like, hey, we collabed with like some local like grocery store in Japan. And it's like that's more of a just like external IRL collab rather than actually in the game. Nasu did say he would be open to it after part 2. He did. So we'll see, right? Like that's why I said if you don't get the announcement here at this anniversary, it's probably a one-sided collab. But you might get the announcement at this anniversary. So we'll see. Doubt we get a collab at FGO. I don't know, right? Like if we did, what form would it take? Because this sort of thing is difficult because we've never gotten one before. So we have no idea how the developers and how Nasu would feel about letting anything external into his game. That could definitely be an issue, and we'll just have to see. Oh, Casta. Costa. Honkai Star Rail collabs with Fate and becomes canon. So then FGO collabs with Honkai Star Rail and it's still within the lore. I don't think that's how that works. Was there not a collab with Pekora, the VTuber? And it consisted on her being the ambassador and something like that. There was. She also has a statue of her in a MASH outfit that you guys can buy if you want. That being said, it in no way impacted the game. There was nothing in game. Yeah, okay. I think she did get a CE, but that was it. So we'll have to see, right? Like the whole reason I'm saying how I'm saying it, chat, is it hasn't been a thing. So we'll see if they change that stance. Anything allowing any unit into the game is immediately a complete like 180 reversal, right? Should have been a statue of Pekora as Gil Archer. I don't know. I mean, she's obsessed with Gil, but I don't know that that would necessarily like that would be like having a statue of me as like Lartoria. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I would buy it. You would buy a statue of me as Lartoria? That's terrifying. Oh no, I know the universes are very similar, and I did say before that the Servant verse makes so much sense, and I really want to see them expand it. Another woo. Only if royal icing. Please no. Gets isekai'd into HSR. Yeah. I still need to know why you said your VTuber has massive boob. Bob, you can try to put me on the spot in front of everybody. I'm not going to answer that. Listen, if people are paying attention to my Twitter account, they'll see my posts and they'll see the hints that I'm dropping. If people are not paying attention to my Twitter account, then it is what it is. I feel if FGO would do a collab with Star Rail, we would get a free-to-play 5-star unit in the main character from Star Rail, or 4-star March 7th. I mean, in a weird way, March 7th is basically MASH. At least from the like week or two that I played of it. But yeah, like I don't know, right? I have no idea what form it would take. I'm not sure we would swap pro tags like that though. Like putting Godao into Honkai Star Rail is like low-key kind of weird. Like what's he gonna do? Sit there and be like, by the power of my command seal. Like that's all he's gonna be able to do is like punch things and like put his fist up and like gesture. Shoyo, thank you for the follow. I can't remember the last time I paid attention to Twitter, period. Listen, Minos, I need you to do me a favor, and I need you to only pay attention to my account on Twitter. I need more support on Twitter. That's what I need. You could get Master in a Star Rail outfit. Yeah, I do think you could see a Mystic Code. I do think you could see a costume. But we'll see if it ends up being an actual unit, right? I think there's numerous ways that they could do it. Longtime YouTube viewer just followed now. Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Twitch side of things. But I still see all of you YouTube people. The more people say the collab won't happen, the more I feel like it will. What do you mean? Like, the collab's definitely happening. But if anything, I'm saying on like the FGO side, right? But also, is that maybe just copium that you want to see it happen? That is all you had to say following on Twitter, although I don't use it. Thank you, I appreciate it. Listen, I say that sort of stuff all the time, and while I say it to try and get people to support me on the various social media platforms, I also don't expect people to. I don't know, I guess it's just me being like realistic. So it's like, if people are nice enough to like retweet my stuff, I always appreciate it. I really do. Uh-oh. Okay, it's only a 4-star. Hello, JK Fox. I was like, oh no, it's gonna be another SSR. Haxon, thank you for the follow. Is Summer Woo a necessary? No, not even. She's a very niche unit. She's actually interesting in the way that she works, but I wouldn't really call her very strong. She's just a unit that sort of facilitates anti-undead damage. Rathalos, thank you again for the 14. Just get Cardboard Kun, pretty much. Buster Helena, yeah. Cleo Summer this year, Copium. I know somebody else that also wants that, and his name is Prophet. Which servant in the upcoming banners are the closest thing to a must summon? I mean, you'd probably be waiting until like the end of the end of the year for like December, because we're gonna get, I think it's Oberon, Koyanskaya, and Castoria all get a banner at the end of the year. They're the closest, really. But beyond that, we don't get like a new meta support for a long time. You do have other strong damage dealers that are going to come out, but that's really what it is. It's like you have like Kukulkan in January. That's a really strong damage dealer. You got Draco, Tiamat that are strong damage dealers. You've got Ask and Castoria Berserker that are strong damage dealers. And like, that's really where I draw the line. And I know everyone's going to scream at me and they're going to be like, Summer Mellison. And I'm going to be like, actually, Summer Mellison is good. I don't put her up in that same sort of like category as like she is power creepy. She is certainly stand out for a lot of the rulers, but a unit like Karen can still out damage her. So. I also want Ryu Archer and Assassin go to FGO Saber. Maybe a stretch though. I honestly would laugh if like the way in which they did a collab was like with their like April Fool's collab. That would be hilarious to me. And got her. Also got Proto Merlin from a 10 pull last week. It was insane luck, not gonna lie, just gonna grind out more Sanct Quartz for Ibuki. Good luck. Hope you get it. Will Castoria reroll in 2025 in an A? Yes. Yeah, I think Castoria has had multiple banners every single year since she came out. Thank God. You think the devs are slow in upgrades for servant skills in P because it can give a ton of free Sanct Quartz? That may be a factor, but I suspect it's probably not the biggest of their concerns. Which month? Oh, good question. Let me ask. Or, not let me ask. Let me look. I don't know off the top of my head, so. How strong is Saber Medusa? She's fairly good. She's another unit that can kind of just sit there and stun lock you. Any luck so far? I'm at like 480 Sankorts, no Skadi so far. Oof. We are on NP5, so we're still having some luck, but we are kind of teetering around average right now. Let's see. So she is LB7, and then it's the 3,000 days anniversary campaign next year, which is not until October. So basically, she's back here in December and then not again until October of next year. Tricker, thank you for the follow. Did you finish your Ibuki rolls yet? Nope. we still got Ibuki rolls to do after this. Chat, this is a Gacha stream. It just is what it is. It's nice and easy for me. I don't have to do anything. I just get to talk to y'all. Gotcha. Oh! There it is. There is NP5. We did it, chat. Well, the roll continues. Proto Merlin, Summer Ibuki, Summer Skadi. I hate to break that one to you. Yeah, no, it probably is. It's probably fuck Proto Merlin, kill Ibuki, and marry Skadi. Skadi to me is the best marriage candidate there, easily. Okay, another woo. Skadi deserves it. Well, when I start thinking about the marriage candidate, chat, I usually try to consider, like, can I live with this person? Are they down to earth? Do they have, like, a pleasant demeanor? Bro's job is to print money, indeed. What happened? That's sus? You're sus. Alright. Time to stockpile, chat. Gotta go run some more free quests here real fast. Whee! Okay. The most important, are they weak to Enema Elish? So you're saying if they're not weak to Enema Elish, they're marriage material. They groove to Boogie. Aid didn't have 3 banners is because Summer Morgan was baked into Anniversary. I've seen a lot of people say that, and that's why they get upset, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I also think the devs caught a little bit of flack for splitting things into 3 banners during this summer, and that may be why they moved back to 2. So we'll see what they do this year. I'm going to be very curious to see what Summer 9 is like. The only issue with Lady Avalon would be that she would probably, like, because again, it's a succubus chat, so she'd probably cheat on you and she'd probably get you into all sorts of trouble. When do I unlock this part of the map for Sankort's free quest? It's usually when you get a job. I'm not saying that in actuality, I understand. But I wish, right? I wish we could all have, like, the ability to infinitely roll the gacha. Imagine the suck power, indeed. Yeah, Bob, I don't know if Torak told you the numbers for this, but if you can keep a separate tally for this. The total for Summer Skadi was 1591. 5 Summer Scotties, 14 Woos, 1 Odysseus, 1 Dobrynya, 1 Chiome, and 1 JK Fox. So we did get a spook in there. In that regard, the SSR rate was still pretty good. He did not. Okay, so just keep a tally for me. I'd love an NP2 Odysseus. Yeah, I actually have no idea what NP level that is for me. That might be NP2, that might be NP3, but it's something. Do you know the mechanic of the FGO Gacha? Yes. Like, is SSR limited per day? No. First come, first serve? No. Pure RNG, pure RNG. There is rate ups, so the rate up unit will have a much higher chance of occurring. So, for instance, there's a 1% SSR rate. The rate up is 0.8 of that. So, basically, if you wanted to consider rolling 10 SSRs, 8 of them would be your rate up, 2 might not. So, thankfully, the rate up rate's really good in this game. In a lot of other games, it's only like half. So, it's like in that case, if you rolled 10 SSRs, you would only get 5 being the actual rate up, and that's definitely a problem. But kill Balbon, smash Barcast, Mary Morgan, and I hate to say this, but the reason why is because Barcast would probably murder me eventually. Not that Morgan might not, but I feel like I'll take my chances. And Balbon 100% would murder me. Morgan wouldn't murder her wife. Hold on. Summer Ibuki for Summer Ibuki. Wait, Subuki for Summer Ibuki. Is it a good nickname? Maybe. Some people might get confused by that, but I've seen other nicknames for her though. If you can make changes to the pity system, what would you do? I would make pity apply to all NP levels, not just the first copy. I would make pity also roll over. And I would make pity not reset if a banner changes. Those are the 3 changes I would make. That would literally allow you to have rotational rate ups back again. It would allow you to be able to roll for like a single 4-star instead of like 3 of them at once. And that would make it so much nicer for like other units. So those 3 changes would be nice and easy. I'm not even sure it would actually cost FGO that much money, and it would straight up get people back in the game and rolling a lot more. I wonder if a daily free story single pull is possible. I would like to see them do that, because that would give at least a little bit of value to the story banner some. Four-star pity. I mean, I've seen people say that, but I feel like if we can get the banners back to like kind of how you guys see how many woos I'm getting, right? It's very much the case of you're very likely to see the 4-star when it's a solo 4-star rate up. When it's not a solo 4-star rate up, you are not likely to see it, and that's what sucks. That's where you can get totally screwed by your luck being just completely wrong. So why can't they ever put a rate up on the story banner? I don't know. I would like to see that as well. Lucas Spadukas, thank you for the follow. Lasagna wouldn't lose much off that, I think. I actually think they might gain some from the standpoint of you would start to see free-to-plays begin to roll for NP2s. Kind of wish they would give us a create your own banner. They kind of do with the Destiny summon, but we'll see if they continue to do that into the future. I'm predicting that they do, though. Do you think they'll ever make changes to pity? Yes, I do, but I don't know when. Like, we might see changes this year. It might not be till NA10. It might not be for a long time, but I do think they will eventually. If you think about it, chat, it's an easy win. If they could literally do nothing else this anniversary but change something about the pity system, and everyone would consider it a win. I'm dead serious on that. Everyone would be like, "Oh, this year was so amazing. Oh God, can you guys believe that they changed the pity system? Oh wow, it's so good." Like, yeah, that would be the messaging. Illusions, thank you for the follow. Done. Pity is now 1200. Don't say that. Don't give them ideas. Can't wait for FGO2 announcement in the summer. I will say this. The fact that you start to see other games out there, like Arc Knights, like Azure Lane, like Girls Frontline, some of the like OG gacha games at this point are coming out with a second game. I do think the discussion has happened in Lasingle. So we do know that they've been trying to hire for other projects as well. So we'll see. Maybe that's something that they are working on, but who knows? How'd you feel if they changed USOs to gaining them when you pull a 5-star in general rather than an NP5? So that has to come in two parts. The first is that I'm A-okay with that system. That would be a good way moving forward. The problem is, how do you rectify that with the way USOs have been and the fact that people have gotten so many USOs already with the bad system? Like, do you make it retroactive? Because then those people are swimming in USOs. And remember, guys, like, you can only ever acquire one of a limited unit. So I don't know. I don't know what that change would mean. They would probably have to do some other overhauls in addition to that. Excited for extra record news, to be honest. Same. Those games are mostly independent, though. Well, we don't know that, right? Like, they certainly could be, but there might be one that isn't, right? One of their projects might be, hey, we're totally working on the next thing. But I don't know, right? Like, that might just be copium. So we'll see. I'm willing to keep an open mind, but I'm also not willing to, like, fully trust and believe and, like, sunshine pump that. Yeah, I want to be clear, chat. As far as I know it, for as long as I have been playing the game, and for how many like dev statements I've scoured over the years, I have not once ever seen the devs ever mention the USO system. Not even once. I have never seen the USO system ever get mentioned. It has only ever been mentioned, to my knowledge, in the case of things like the selector ticket, where the bulletin just says you won't get a USO from this. That's it. You never see it mentioned anywhere else. There has never been a dev statement on the USO system. And you know why? They don't want to talk about it. And I don't blame them. It's naturally like a landmine if they do. The second the word USO even crosses a developer's lips, they're already fucked. It is a no-win situation, so they just avoid it. Have you tried the triple Skadi comp? How, pray tell, would I do that? Since I'm still rolling. How is Skadi summer damage compared to Karen? It's good, but it's not going to beat Karen. Not in the most circumstances. If FGO had an open conversation with fans like FGO did, complete insanity. To be fair, I do believe that while it is necessary to do that from time to time, it also probably has long-term hurt Epic 7. Though I think you could say that Epic 7 was already in a bad situation when they had to have those conversations anyways. What if getting pity gives 5 or 10 USOs? Oh, I would love that. I don't think they'll do that though. Especially because this begs another question. Does the game know how many times you have hit pity? I bet it does, but they've never told us that it does. Crazy idea. Is it possible to use Van Gogh in the 90++? Yeah. Return? That's another story. Possible to use? Absolutely. Is Lady Avalon worth getting NP2? It can be nice. Like, she actually does scale up with NP level. But I'm not going to say that it's required. Like, her charge per turn is what scales. Let me convert my USOs to better valued in-game materials. I mean, I'm somebody like right now, I'm sitting on 8 USOs, so I wouldn't want that. I definitely do benefit from the USO system. It's just like, God, it is such a small benefit when you consider what was actually taken to get to 10 USOs. When you click on a mat, it takes you to the best stage to farm it. That would be nice. But they won't do that. They didn't do a retroactive mana prism gain when they implemented the 50 mana prisms per multi. So I doubt they count the amount of pity that a player has to hit. Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. They might have the info. Do you have an estimation for when the new 4-star selector is going to come? Are you talking about the Fate Stay Night one? Because I think there's still one more ticket, but wasn't that like late last year or something? Trying to remember. What MP are we on now? This is Ibuki rolls now, and this is for NP4. The one with limited units. Yeah, I'm trying to remember when that was. I thought we already got the Fate Stay Night ticket. JP did, NA did not. Which is funny because NA got an extra free SSR that JP has not gotten, and JP has not mentioned theirs yet. So maybe that actually is a thing during anniversary this year. And I'll likely get it around here, JP Annie. Yeah, I mean, like I've said, I think the Fate Stay Night ticket's probably going to come with an announcement of, hey, the Fate Stay Night visual novel coming to Steam is now available. I think that's what they'll do, is they'll hype it up in game to get people to go get the visual novel. And it makes sense if you think about it from that standpoint. And I'll say this, if they don't do that, shame on their marketing department. Absolutely shame. That is such an easy win. I don't know why you wouldn't pair those two things together. It'd match the soon thing, yeah. So we'll see, because we don't know when we're actually getting the Stay Night announcement. Like, they've announced it's coming in the fall. They haven't said when, though. Super excited for the free unit. Have been really wanted Artoria, and I don't want to turn down a free one. Oh, free Artoria is best Artoria. Literally a full heal for any servant of the game across the duration of the buff. I would love to see, and I had talked about this at least once before, but I'd love to see, like, more command seals added to the game that would do various different things. Like, I'd love to see, like, a defensive command seal. New CE reveals today for JP. Oh, wait, you mean like we're due in, or like they happened and I totally missed it? Because I did it, like, if there was actually a new reveal, It's Friday for JP. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, it's like if it already happened, I totally missed it. Customize the command seal loadout. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that sort of thing would make it feel like you actually have a Mystic code, right? Like it also lets you level them up. Damn, I don't know when I'll get Emiya as my most wanted 4-star. Let me go ahead and set your mind at ease, Vaughn. You will get Emiya. I guarantee it. He is the red man, and the red man cometh. There is no way to avoid the red man. He is inevitable. Will there be command code reruns for ones in previous events? That is still to this date the like missing link. We have started to see them finally bring back old craft essences. They're hand selecting which ones. Very similar issue with command codes, but they are like only doing that like once or twice a year. And we only have, I think it's like 3 or 4 command codes in the actual shop that you can get that had already occurred. So I hope that they why did that? Okay, that was really weird. I hope that at some point they do something like that for the command codes. But as it is right now, there's nothing. I'll take the CAD blessing for my Mao rolls. Prayed for the red man. Oh no, Vaughn. Let me just say this. You can get my blessing for any set of rolls. You do not want my blessing for the Mao Nobu rolls. You do not want it. Trust me, you do not want my blessing. It is not a blessing. It is a curse. Mao Nobu is my singular worst NP1. It's from before pity, so. Can I have your blessing for Reigns rolls? I mean, you probably also don't want that one either. Loyal OCE, thank you for the follow. Not free, non-JP. I got all the summer units? Nice, congratulations. Mao is my only NP5 candidate. Well, good luck is all I will tell you. I will not bless you because it will not be a blessing. I'll gladly give you a blessing on any other one, though. You want Cad's luck for Spishtar, though? Oh, yeah. Okay, so the famous Spishtar story at this point, chat. So she came out on JP and I wasn't going to roll her. And then randomly... randomly, in the middle of the event one day while streaming, I just said, you know what, chat? I feel lucky. And I went over to the... Nice! Hell yes! Oh, that is a great spook. Baker. That's fantastic. I saw the pretender there and I was like, huh? That's absolutely great. So, where was I? So, yeah, so basically, in the middle of streaming in the event, I wasn't going to roll, and I just finally said, you know what? I feel lucky. And I went up to Space Ishtar's banner, threw a single ticket at it, and out popped Space Ishtar. Yep, there it is. Right there. It is that clip. How? I don't know. And it's funny, too, because I also was really lucky rolling Ishtar as well. But I assume at that point it was probably just like desire sensor. I hate Faker and she's the best unit on my account. I mean, she's still a really good unit. Give her a chance. The random multi that you did on I don't know what banner to show something and waiver showed up. I mean, I've also had one where like, what was it? I still remember this to this day. Like JP was about to get a new banner, a new event. And there was I think it was the Heaven's Feel collab campaign. and I only had 30 quartz, and I literally saw the Heavens Feel banner, and I was like, I don't know, chat, should I? They're like, no, you're not gonna get anything. And then I had people like trying to convince me not to because I was lingering on it. And I still remember that like I had people trying to tell me like, huh? The single ticket altar? Yeah. I still remember people telling me, you're fucking insane. Wait for the new event. There's no reason to roll this. This is bait. And I didn't. And out popped Salter. He sees the lines. Yep. I don't know why. I've always been lucky like that. I definitely get screwed in every other way, though, right? Like, I roll enough in this game that I have seen all the badness, but I have also seen some incredibly lucky times because of it. We're still rolling? Ibuki or more Skadi? I don't know. Which is it? Surely you've been paying attention, right? You've been keeping track and keeping count, right? If only I had mystic eyes of luck perception. Indeed. I'm scared to ask how deep are we? I don't know. Bob's keeping track on this one. Over 1,000 craft essences? Don't tell me that. I'm not looking at that number on purpose. Cat is rolling for Faker. Faker. The rolls are for a looping unit. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. I don't look forward to you getting those down. I'll probably have to do like some measure of either FP rolling, but that's still gonna be difficult because I'm already at that point. So, chat, you remember how I said like, hey, I need to do like a little bit of FP rolling to make just an extra CE or two there? That was smart of me, wasn't it? Now you see why I do that. Every once in a while, you end up in a 1,000 craft essence situation, and you go, hey, this is going to take a while, and I need some place to put all of this. All right, gold orbs. Avenger. Arisu. So many craft essences? Yep. We have a 2-time success campaign here soon with the 21 million campaign, right? We should. It's 26 million on JP, but it should be our 21 million. But that does depend on whether or not we hit that milestone, I guess, right? Quick, chat, everyone quit the game and go re-download it. That way you can get your Space Ishtar banner. Summer Van Gogh this year, and I go broke for the NP. Damn. Yeah, don't do that. I'm joking, by the way, chat. Just make bombs out of the 3-star C. They take up less space. Yeah, if I really had to, I would. I have actually had to do that before. But, you know, I try to avoid it if possible. I think they just stick with numbers for big numbers. I wonder that too. Though I do wonder, like, is there some sort of rule and they're not like allowed to do it? You'll like, let me put it to you this way. Whether or not we hit the milestone, you will still get the banner and the benefits. They'll just rebrand it as something else, right? It's a back to school celebration campaign. That's all they'll do. Summer Spishtar this year, trust. So you would rather see Summer Spishtar than Summer Erish? Because you can't have both, right? Like, there's no way they'll do that. In all actuality, I do think a cool concept for a Ren-faced unit would be to have Ishtar and Erish in the same unit as like a like either it flip-flops between the two, or it's both of them as a tandem servant. I think that would actually be pretty cool. Apparently the Christian SRs don't bring John. Well, to be fair, I'm on a different banner now. But still. We got both Johns in one event. Why not both Ishtars? Well, hold on. That's Saber Faces. That's a different story. Can we got BB and Melt in the same summer? Hold on. That's Sakura Faces. That's a different story. So the servant we just got, yes. Summer Spishtar, Summer Erish, and Space Erish all in 1 year. Then we can call it the Year of the Ren Face. In all seriousness, I'm surprised that they haven't done something like that. Look, we already got that Ren CE art in years. We can't have something new for them for like 2 years. That's right. See, Bob has taken the correct approach. It's you can only get excited over what you get, and you're no longer allowed to get excited over anything else. You can't assume that they're going to give you anything, and you just have to be content with the scraps that you get. And that is the only way that you will stay sane as a Ren fan at this point. Because if you're a Ren fan, still to this day, you're probably tearing your hair out over, like, why the hell have I not gotten literally anything? I'll take another comma. Yes. No signal. Oh, yeah, no. Whenever I do that, it's just because I'm farming Saint Quartz. Still kind of sad that Avatrot didn't have any summer variant. Yeah, I think that would have been pretty cool, but we'll see, right? 5-star summer Medea? I would actually love that. That'd be awesome. Ibuki? Oh, wow. A silver Ibuki, chat. A silver Ibuki out of nowhere. I did not anticipate that. It's been a while since I've gotten an SSR off of a silver flashing to gold. Ibuki jump scare, yes. The game was like, all right, it's been long enough. We rolled Walmart Ibuki. No, don't say that. That makes her sound like a people of Walmart. Which maybe that's why she has one bigger ass cheek than the other, right? We did get Saber Medusa, so at least we have a 5-star Medusa. I find it really funny that like they brought up Summer Medusa and Nasu was just like, wait, people would want that? And the reason I find it funny is because he knows people wants it. He just straight up is like debating everyone. Like 100%. Habanyan will make her own swimsuit, and I bet it'll be the school swimsuit. Yeah, I could see that. I could absolutely see that. Ibuki is a Walmart greeter. Welcome to Costco, I love you. Takeuchi blocked Summer Passion Lip. So it's really funny because based off that conversation, I actually expect that it's probably the reverse. It's probably that Takeuchi wants it and that Nasu refuses to give it. And hear me out as to why. Takeuchi loves boobs. We know that from other anecdotes. So I was gonna say I could easily see Nasu just pulling the 180 and trying to throw Takeuchi under the bus there because he knows Takeuchi doesn't care and he knows that Takeuchi like has his tastes anyways. But we'll see, right? Like, which Lartoria design do you want? The one with the biggest boobs? Yeah, quite literally. He apparently when he went to oh God, what's his name? What's the Lartoria artist name? Why am I forgetting it? No, Ishida. When he went up to Ishida and basically told him to do the design, Ishida came back to him with like something like 5 designs. And they were all of various different appearances because it was supposed to be a mature Artoria. And apparently, without even really thinking, Takeuchi just immediately pointed to the one on the end that had like the biggest breast and said that one. So, inevitably based as far as I'm concerned, right? Like, hello, Ivy. How's it going? This is a funny thing to walk into. Yeah, it's. I was telling people because I don't think Takeuchi was actually the one that probably blocked Passion Lip from getting a summer form. If anything, Takeuchi's probably the one that wants it. And it was probably Nasu saying like, "No, she's a good girl. We don't want to put her in a swimsuit or something." Imagine Takeuchi with Yoko Taro, the Booba Lovers Convention. Exactly. Our art director, yep. Do you think we will get Caster Arturia Alter? I think that's like you could maybe, but I wouldn't anticipate something like that for a hot second. I think they'll probably give Castoria a rest here for a little bit. Be mad if we don't get Summer Lip. You'll get Summer Lip eventually. I don't know if you'll get her this year, right? Like that'll depend. But Summer Lip has been somebody that's been theorized for like 4 years now because she had a throwaway line back in like was it Summer 3? I think it was Summer 3. She had a throwaway line where we're straight up like she's like, "Oh, I really want to have a swimsuit and I really want to be part of this." No, sorry, that was Summer 4 because it was she was basically with Melt as part of her casino. Yoko Taro of Send Me. No, so like low key, there's two people that I would really love to see Nasu collab with. Yoko Taro and Miyazaki. Like 100%. I want to see those two collabs. That would be like dream collab, and I feel like Yoko Taro is yet another really good story writer and would work really well with him. And also Miyazaki and him both play each other's games. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, chat, but during like Fate's 15th anniversary, Miyazaki sent and signed an actual congratulatory letter to Type Moon. Like it's listed on the website. You can go find it. So like it's really freaking hilarious that that's the case. And then you also hear about how like Nasu just loves the Dark Souls games, and I'm like, you fool! Make a collab game! Holy crap! Can you imagine like Elden Ring, but instead it's Nasu-verse lore? Like, It's practically begging to be made, but as far as we can tell, neither of them have made it. Yoko Taro is also a troll like Nasu. I mean, for all we know, they're the same person. These three need to collab on a new IP at least. Yeah, that would be fantastic. That would be like, again, the meme of like, oh, it's the most ambitious collaboration since the Avengers, right? Like, straight up having Yoko Taro, Nasu, and Miyazaki all on one thing together. I feel like Japan would explode. Scrubs gave me the biggest summer Chiome copium, said Nasu probably played Elden Ring DLC and how Mesmer has the snake, etc. Oh my god. I mean, you guys will see there actually is some Elden Ring references upcoming this year in this year's Guda Guda. So look forward to it. How much influence does the Mushroom Man have? Quite a bit. You'd be surprised. Arturian Ghibli art? Oh, yes. I'm not surprised they like each other's work. Dark Souls and Nasuverse stories have very similar themes often. So it's been assumed that Dark Souls gets those ideas from two places. One is Fate, and the other is Berserk. Straight up. Like basically, Dark Souls is a mixture of Fate and Berserk if you actually look at it. Lament it, fear it, run from it, but Guda Guda always comes back. Indeed. We have Demon Slayer anime thanks to Mushroom Man. Yeah, that too. That too. I've seen so many people say like, oh man, it's so much better than Fate. And I'm like, you wouldn't have it if not for Nasu. I'm going to sleep. No problem, Bob. So am I. All right, chat. This is going to be it for me tonight. We will probably be back tomorrow, but we'll have to see. Again, I can't say this enough, but debut literally next Tuesday. So if you don't see me for whatever reason, you know why. But we'll probably be back at minimum to roll the 5th copy of Ibuki, because that's what we need to do. But yeah, again, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all the support. Welcome again to all of the new people. Hello, Musaki. And if you guys haven't checked out Musaki and Simon, both of the Chaldea Gurus directors there, make sure you guys go do. They're also fantastic streamers. And yeah, like I said, I will be back tomorrow. Let me find somebody to love, and we can redirect this. All of this intense feelings that you guys have. Let me send you guys on out to Mr. Fox. He's on tonight. He's doing some FGO. Oh, there we go. Skadi love indeed. So thank you guys again. I do appreciate it. Check me out on YouTube, Twitter, especially Twitter right now, Discord, and again, hope to see you guys for the debut soon. So have a good one. Go give Fox my love, and good night. My God, press buttons. There we go.